On the 11th of August 2017, in Jacksonville, Florida, Cameron entered his first interrogation room in connection with the murder of Richard Green. What was meant to be a staged robbery ended in a fatal gunshot.
He's over here too. So, yeah, you can just go ahead and have a seat right there, Cameron. We'll be with you in just a minute, buddy.
Do you have to drink or anything with them back?
Do you guys have anything hot? My voice is kind of going. Like tea?
We got water. We don't have anything. Yeah, that's fine. Now the water ain't real cold because it's just went in the fridge. I'll bring you a bottle of water though. All right. Yeah, they're gonna let me be in with you. Set. I don't know where they record from over there. I'll just sit out of the way. But if anything happens, I'll definitely. But like I said, the temperature test and all that. Yeah, of course. Where's the best place for me to be out of y'all's way? Probably over here.
Over here,
Honest with you.
Yeah. Will you be able to ride over there?
Yeah. Here you go, Cameron. Be careful when you open it because a lot of times those things are filled all the way to the brim and it'll squirt on you. It will squirt on you. Appreciate you coming down.
No problem.
And we're going to get in everything and go through, you understand why you're here.
Yeah.
Follow-up interviews from everything. We're going to get through everything and get us where we need to be, okay? Before we start, because this is an official conversation, you understand you're at the Police Memorial Building, right?
Yes, sir.
And today is August the 11th. It is now 2:20.
Cameron confirmed his identity and work schedule to investigators. He stated he was sober, not under the influence, and understood this was a formal interview about the death of his close friend.
2:18. What's your birthday again, one more time?
March 22nd, 98.
It's Cameron. What's your middle name?
Omori. O-M-E-R-I. Yeah, you guys try to work with me today. I've been doing a whole lot of singing since I've been in college, so.
I understand.
Yeah, voices.
And real quick, and this is not meant to insult, this is something we ask everybody when they come in here. You graduated high school and just started college, so you can read and write, right? Okay. Had any drugs or alcohol today? Nothing at all? All right, Cameron. Like I was saying when I came in and sat down, appreciate you coming in. I know it's kind of hectic to make it up here from Daytona, getting down there, getting started with school. And you said your freshman orientation is.
Well, we already had it, but tomorrow's our last day, so we actually inducted. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Classes actually start.
Actually, I was supposed to get my schedule today, but I have to meet with you guys, so I'll get that tomorrow as well. And classes start Monday.
Right. So I know it's kind of a pain to come up here, but it's obviously it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Your friend was killed, and we're trying to piece together everything from A to Z of what happened. You came in and talked to us the first night and gave us an explanation about a lot of the events. And I want you to understand we've done a lot of investigating since then, and there's no way to sugarcoat it. We got some concerns with what you told us the first night that we need to clear up today. Okay? It's absolutely 100% vitally important that we get the good, bad, ugly, 100% accurate version of everything that happened that night. Okay? So, let's start with. We'll go with the same order that we started the night that we talked to you that everything happened.
He said he contacted Richard that afternoon to talk about music. The meeting was supposed to focus on a new track, but the conversation shifted toward buying drugs from someone they knew.
At what point during the day did you start communicating with Richard?
I want to say it's probably around It was afternoon time. I can't remember the time, but it was around afternoon time.
And it was phone calls mainly?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the point of trying to get in touch with Richard?
Music. Yeah, I had just called his sister probably like a week or two before then, you know, trying to see where they were because I had a song and stuff I was trying to get them to do. And they were on a cruise. He was on a cruise with his family and his girlfriend, so I wasn't able to talk to him then.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, then got finished with all that, and I called him back again. I got an answer, you know, telling him where you at, what's been going on, and he was telling me he was with his girlfriend. And I mentioned the song thing to him. He said, okay, well, if he has time to, he'll get back with me, but, you know, he's out on a date, so, you know, that was all. I was just riding with my sister, the girl I called my sister Ashanti.
Okay.
So this Ashanti, you know, our initial thing to do was we were going to cut her mother's grass. So that's why I was with her, and I initially wasn't supposed to leave the house without telling my mom, but I went to make some quick money, you know, cutting grass. So she left to cut the grass, and I wasn't able to get a lawnmower, so therefore I was coming back home. And that's when we got the call back from Richard, probably around, let's say, 8 something, going close until 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And he was telling us, you know, well, I'm over here at CC's, you know, we're coming back. We're going to take her home. If you don't, I know you live close, so if you can come over here, we can do it for a little bit, then that's fine. So I told him, yeah, I'm right here by my house. I'm only like 5 minutes away, just wait. So I got up there, and as we were passing by, close to getting to CC's, like I told you guys, my sister stopped, cause she seen Patrick that she knew she was familiar with, and they got to talking, and she asked him, you know, he asked her, do you have any drugs, you know, anybody that has any drugs? And they knew, like, she knew I knew Richard is a drug dealer, Richard sells. So she said, well, you know, his friend is drug dealer, so maybe he'll have some on him. And that's when we went over to, like, probably another 5 seconds over where CC's actually was. And I got in the car and started talking to him about the music or whatever. You know, they're exhausted and all that. So as I was, like, going deeper, trying to, like, you know, get into the music stuff, whatever, they were still signaling Ashanti, and was like signaling me to, I guess because I was taking too long, and was telling me, you know, go ahead and ask him, hurry up, because, you know, we don't have all day. So that's when I mentioned it to Richard and Patrick. He told Patrick to come over there, was asking me, you know, did I know the guy? And I was like, well, no, my sister actually, you know, is somebody that my sister knows. And he was like, well, I need to check him out first to see who he is. So he came over, they were talking, you know, and he told him to get in the car.
At the Monaco Arms Complex, Patrick suddenly pulled out a gun. Seconds later, a shot rang out. Cameron jumped from the car, tried to stop the rolling Honda Civic, and shook Richard in panic.
And yeah, they got in, and after he got in, Richard told Patrick, well, I don't have any on me, but his brother or his cousin stays over in Monaco Arms, and he was also one that, you know, was sold drugs. So he said, well, after we go over there, I could bring you guys right back. And I didn't get out of the car because he was Richard. I didn't think anything would happen. I didn't think anything was wrong. We were in the middle of the music. So as we were going over there in the middle of, you know, me playing music on my phone, he pulled out his gun and was in the middle of robbing us and stuff. And he didn't look suspicious at first, like, going into Monaco Arms, because he wasn't saying anything. He was just, you know, just to himself. He had I don't know if I told you guys, but I know he had like a bandana on his hand. So I didn't know if that was to, like, cover the gun or not, but he had a bandana on his hand. And we got over there, you know, he put out his gun and was in the middle of, you know, trying to rob us, and through my wallet or whatever was going on. Like, within the first 2 to 3 seconds, he opened fire, and like, hopped out the car some seconds later, and I looked up. Richard was on the side of the window, and the car was still moving, probably like 2 miles. It wasn't fast speed. And I jumped up to the front, you know, put his knee on the brake, and stopped the car, put the car in park. And by that time, you know, the phone was still in my hand and all, and I was trying to wake him up to see if he would get up, and he wasn't. And when I was getting out of the car, I handed my phone to her. I was like, hey, I need you to hold this phone, coach, so I can get out the car to make sure that he was okay. And as I was getting out, she was asking me, well, did you see where he go? You know, do you know where he went? Where is he? Is my boyfriend dead? And I couldn't tell if he was dead. I didn't know where he went. You know, I was in a panicking moment. So I was like, no, no, just bear with me. So I went over to Richard's door, opened the driver's door, was trying to touch over his head to see if he was okay. apparently wasn't responsive. So I told her, I need you to help me go get help. And she was like, no, I can't be here. I have to go. Like, I can't be here. She was initially calling her mother. So she was in the middle of that. I was going to, knock on doors, witnesses' doors. And some of them were still, some of them were out, like they already heard the shot, but they knew what was going on. So for some of them that were, I was telling them, well, okay, guys, I need you to call the police. Can you guys help me? And some were cooperative. Some, just closed the door. I didn't know if they called or not. And like and in the middle of all that, she was still like in a panicking moment trying to run around and all. That's when I was like, hey, I need my phone. And at that time, when I was getting my phone, I was going, my mind was telling me go across the street, the JSO, I'm sorry. There's a JSO department over there in the plaza, so I was initially running over there, but then, as I was about to cross the street, there was a cop patrolling the area going right, like towards the Walgreens, but he didn't stop. And there were two more coming, like as if they were actually coming into Monaco Arms, so those two I luckily was able to, get in contact with, like flagged down and pointed to the car. And after that, I called, my sister was getting a call from my sister and was asking her, where are you? And she was like, I'm still over in the plaza, I was about to leave. I was like, okay, well, I need you to come get me, like in a panic. And when she was asking me what's wrong, I was like, I just really need you to come get me. And when I got in the car, it was like, she was like, it's okay, why is there blood in your hands? And it was like, I was crying, it was just stuff going on. And I just told her, I just really need you to take me home. And as she was taking me home, I was like, well, don't take me home. She said, could you take me in our neighborhood park? And she was like, why? And I was like, cause mom's home and I don't want mom to see the blood and all that. And she starts panicking and stuff. It starts happening.
Cameron claimed that after fleeing the scene, he only waved to signal police instead of approaching them directly. He then got into Ashanti's car and left, abandoning the chaotic scene behind.
So she took me to the park and I was just like, tried to walk home from the park seeing what am I going to tell mom? Like, what's going on? I was scared to go in the house because, I know I'm supposed to be out and I didn't know if she was calling me or not. I didn't know it was a whole bunch going on. So I initially went into the house and was like, okay, well, let me just calm down and maybe, I can easily tell her or whatever, And as I was doing all that, I fell asleep and she woke me up in a panic and mom was like, what happened? What's going on? As if, and I was like, well, I didn't tell you yet. So what do you mean? And she was like, well, they're saying that the detectives are coming over here because of something happened with Richard. And that's when I told her. So that's all that I know.
Okay. When you were running out of Monaco Arms after Richard was shot, you saw police officers and flagged them down. Did you talk to them or just wave at them?
No, I was just waved at them and like pointed at the car direction. Yeah, and that's when they because they initially stopped. They didn't go all the way where the car was. They had stopped and looked at me and I pointed that way and that's when they proceeded. Okay.
And where did you get back into the car with Ashanti at?
It was right, where the pharmacy, the little pharmacy part by Walgreens is? Like, as if you go back by the drive-thru, like, sort of on that same road.
Okay. On Monaco?
Yeah, actually on Monaco.
Like, she pulled out of the Highland Square Shopping Center out on the Monaco?
Out on the Monaco.
And you ran up and got into the car? You know why I'm able to... your answer today.
It's not.
That's where we're starting to have a problem.
Are you just trying to say he was in the car?
He was in the car.
He wasn't in the car when I was in there.
And again, this is where we're having a problem.
Okay.
Didn't call you back up here from Daytona to come on a little fishing expedition. When I come and ask you questions, I pretty much know what the right answer should be if you're being honest. And right now you're not.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that I was up looking for him in the car, but when I was in the car, there was no voice of him. I didn't see him. He wasn't in the car when I was in there.
It's a small car, right?
Yeah, so it's a Honda Civic. Yeah.
Honda Civic, not a very big car.
No.
Patrick's a big dude.
Yeah, he's tall. I know that.
Yeah. So why don't we take a deep breath and pretend that we have done a little bit of detective investigatory work.
I'm not trying to insult you guys' intelligence.
You may not be trying to, but you kind of are. Because you're lying to me right now.
And we're not taking advantage of the opportunity, which is why we've asked you to come down here to kind of clear the air.
I'm sort of confused. I'm really not lying to you guys. Now, what I can tell you guys is, What I can tell you guys is, initially before then, she mentioned him to me, but it wasn't like, I'm not trying to just throw anything. I heard what's the name, but she mentioned, him getting, like, trying to get back in the car and all that, but I'm as serious as possible. He was not in that car when I got in. Like, I promise you, he was not in that car. I didn't hear his voice. I didn't see him. I can tell you the side that I got in the back seat where Ashanti was, behind the driver's seat, and was over there, like I said, I was vomiting in a panicking managed situation, was passing in and out. So of course I wasn't looking for him to be there. And I wouldn't, of course, think that he would be in the car. But I know that she did tell me, and the only reason I probably didn't tell you guys is because I didn't want you guys to think, oh, well, he had something to do with it. But she did say that he came back and was getting in the car, but he was not in that car when I was there. And I can tell you guys that until the death of me, he was not in the car.
You can say it till the death of you, but it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, you're right, but he wasn't in the car when I got in there.
And that's what you're going to go with.
Yeah. What side of the car did you get in on?
The driver's.
So you ran up on the driver's side of the car and got in on the driver's side?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Behind Ashanti, who was driving?
Yeah. And on the driver's side. Now she did mention that he was getting back in the car. She said that, like, after, this was probably like weeks or whenever, like, this sort of died down, you guys were in the middle of investigation. I was talking to her, trying to make sure that she was okay. Like, nothing was going on with her, because I know you guys investigated her as well. And trying to make sure she was okay, and she was like, yeah, and she was talking to me about it. And she was saying, like, she was basically telling me she seen him running, and she seen him coming, trying to get back in the car or whatever. But after that, when I was getting back in the car, he wasn't in the car.
And that's what you're going to go with today.
He wasn't in that car when I was
okay. I'm not sure if maybe we didn't explain this fully enough. Maybe there's some question. I don't know. But lying during a murder investigation can result in you being charged as an accessory. Okay? Which means prison time.
All right.
Nobody wants to see you throw your life away over this. Something bad happened. Don't compound it. Don't continue to make bad decision after bad decision. And coming in here trying to sell a bullshit story is a bad decision. Because again, we haven't stopped. We didn't come in here and talk to you that night, and talk to the girlfriend that night, and talk to Ashanti, and go to get an arrest warrant, and give each other high fives, and go home and put this on the shelf and done. We've been doing a lot of work since then. Okay?
All right.
Now, let's take a deep breath. And again, think about bad decision on top of bad decision, and start over with when you ran out of the complex and you got to Ashanti's car, who was in it?
When pressed, Cameron initially denied that Patrick was in the car after the shooting. But under mounting pressure and conflicting evidence, he admitted Patrick had indeed remained inside.
Well, he was in the car at the beginning, but and whether you think this is a lie or not, I made him get out, because I told him if he didn't get out, I was going to get out. Like, it wasn't my car, but I told her that. And that's why she's not talking to me now. She comes to find out they were dating, they used to date. And that's nothing I knew of, because now if you look at her, she's gay now, she's a stud. So when I was talking to her, she told me, I was like, why aren't you talking to me? What's going on? And she was just like, well, it's nothing really going on. Like, so, well, why are you acting as if, like, this is my fault? She wouldn't come into contact with me. It's like, why are you acting like it's my fault? She's like, no, it's not that. It's just, not Richard. Patrick was a good friend of mine and all that. So I know it's probably something hard that she had to do, but I told her, no, he just killed Richard. No, either he gets out or I need to get out. Like, this is not going to happen. And before she told him, he jumped. He just got out of the car. He knew I was going to snitch. I knew he knew what I was going to snitch.
At what point did he get out of the car?
When we were coming, where is that place? It's another store, like, behind the plaza. like right behind Little Caesars, and like it's a racetrack store. And she was like sort of going behind that way. And that's when he was like, no, let me out right here. I'll just get out. And that's when she let him out and proceeded to take me home.
Which racetrack? I'm not. Did she turn off of Monaco onto Dunn Avenue?
Yeah, she turned off. She turned right or left? She turned left. She turned left. And when she turned left, we kept going in past the, like, say, when we're out of the plaza, you're passing where T-Mobile and Little Caesars is. And right, like, across the street, like, behind it is a store. It's like a racetrack store. That's right there. And that's when, like, she turned and he got out the car. Like, he was like, I'm getting out.
Now, thinking back to the last couple of minutes, you told the truth about whether or not he was in the car.
Right.
Did anything bad happen?
What do you mean after that?
Based on you telling the truth, did anything bad happen in this room?
He's talking about right now.
Right now. Nothing bad happened, right?
No, but
the world's still spinning. You probably feel a whole lot better now that you've come off of that, right?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm feeling. It's just like I said, this is the first situation that's ever happened, something like this.
And again,
I don't, I'm not trying to remember anything like that that's happened. I'm trying to be involved because I know what goes on with stuff like this. And I don't want to ever be a part of something like this.
Well, you're a part of this.
Yeah, well, not like that.
You're net deep as a part of this, okay? You were in the car. You were not truthful that night. And then you've come in and started out lying today. So you're a part of this, okay? Do we want to get you through this without you being in a huge world of life-changing trouble? Yeah, we do. But where things go from here depends on you.
All right.
And you came in lying, so that's strike one. I don't know what to tell you, okay?
Yeah. I
need you to be completely honest from here on out.
Right.
Because if I look at somebody and tell them you're lying to me, I take that pretty serious. And when I say that, I know you're lying to me. I'm not going to call you a liar unless I know. Okay?
Yeah, and I apologize.
And I appreciate you being honest about whether or not he was in the car. Thank you.
Look at it like this. The first night we talked, okay, it was just us three, right? Yeah. All right. You didn't have your own attorney here, right?
Right.
And sometime between the last time that you have had communication with law enforcement to the point that you've come in today, you have had the opportunity to sit down and talk to a lawyer,
right.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
You and your family, okay? And even immediately before we came in here, we had a discussion with your lawyer, okay? And we kind of explained to him some things about the investigation and the importance of you coming in with 100% disclosure of the truth,
yes, sir.
Okay? And I've known Mr. Miller for quite some time, from a professional standpoint, okay? We've worked a lot of cases together. And I know for a fact that Mr. Miller told me he was going to come in here and reiterate that to you,
right.
And place emphasis on the importance of doing that, okay? And in addition to that, you have requested that Mr. Miller remain in the room with you while we have this discussion, yes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm saying all that to say that there's no reason for you not to be truthful right now. There is no reason at all, okay? Like we tried to explain to you that night. The truth is the truth, and it's always going to be the truth, okay? But if you tell something other than the truth, then consciously or subconsciously in your brain, you're trying to play something out in your brain to try to get ahead of where he's maybe going with the questions that he's going to ask you. This is not a joke, okay? And it's not any trickery or anything like this. It is what it is, okay? What happened, happened. As bad as you don't want to be involved and as bad as you would like to go back and change every event that happened that night, unfortunately that cannot be done, okay? So just spill your guts and tell him everything you want to. If at any point during this conversation it gets to the point where your attorney has concerns, at some point he will step in and say, hey, may I have a minute with my client so we can discuss this before we proceed? You have someone here that has your best interest in mind, okay? And who is here to monitor and guide you and help you through this process. But there's only so much he can do to help and guide you if you don't follow his advice by coming in and being truthful.
I was actually going to ask you, Detective, if we could actually take a minute, just before we go on. I just want to talk to him a little bit more to kind of get this before we go to the questions. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, just knock it, right?
Absolutely. And while I'm talking to him, the recording will be off.
All right.
We'll
I guess.
There's a. I don't know how that works. It's in a lot.
Hang on.
All right.
Let's ask, because there may be an issue with the interruption. If we do an interruption, it may be something we might formally.
Okay, we can absolutely. Thanks. I just want to not try. I'm not trying to be difficult.
No. Yeah. Or maybe we may need to leave it and then take you guys somewhere that's not being monitored.
Okay.
Again.
Thanks.
I'll get right back in just a second.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Just don't say anything. It's all right, Mike. You're fine.
Hey, just come over to this next.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thanks. I'll come get you. Yeah, all right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Just come up right down here.
Absolutely.
JJ will be back. Just come on out, Cameron. We'll be back down with you guys in just a couple minutes.
All right, thanks, guys.
Still good with that water? You need another one.
I know that. Okay. And also, again, second.
No, I'll be right back.
They're
I gotta get it.
They're going to start up in a second. Everything's recorded in here. So yes, they silence till you.
Actually, my own.
Oh, nice. I remember I went to Alabama, so I remember.
They caught me off guard. They never told me, like.
You know, that's mine. I hated mine for 4 years, too. That's awesome, man. Did you always want to go to Bethune, or did you discover it in high school?
I wanted to go to FAU, but, you know.
That's in Boca, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But, you know, initially, some things happen, and, you have to take different routes, and I had the opportunity to go to a Christian school. And, I didn't want to miss out on it.
Yeah, so, I didn't know there were Christian. Bethune is?
Yeah,
cool.
Bethune's a Christian school.
I didn't know that.
And I was thinking, it's going to be lame. Mm-hmm. And I got there Sunday, and just got back in Jacksonville today, and it's been the best time of my life.
That's great.
It's been the best time. I don't ever want to come back to Jacksonville again.
Daytona,
if I could live in college.
Where'd you go to high school?
On First Coast.
Cool, nice.
Yeah, First Coast. I was actually
the
first
Buccaneers.
Yeah, I was the first Mr. First Coast actually this year. We never had a Mr. First Coast. We always had
That's
Miss.
Awesome.
But yeah, I was the first ever.
That's awesome, man. They usually have a pretty good football team. They send a lot of people to college. Yeah.
Yeah, at least half of our senior class is usually
going somewhere. Yeah, that's cool.
They sent me to BCU, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm able to still make it there.
Absolutely.
FYI, the girls in college are so hot. This is crazy. Hear from everywhere.
good? You want to say something when I was about to head back out?
Yeah, it's just another apology.
Bro, you don't have to apologize. We have a lot of people that aren't completely forthcoming, that lie to us. We don't take it personal. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll get past it. I'm not going to jump up and down and yell and scream and slap hands on the table and all that. It's your story. You're going to tell your story, and it's either going to be a true, accurate story, or it's not. And the more inaccuracies and non-truths that are in it only makes you look more in this, okay? So, back to where we were. You come out of the apartments, you get in the car, and Ashanti's in the car.
Ashanti.
Her sister. Patrick. And you get in.
Yes, sir.
And you go down Monaco, turn left on Dunn.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the racetrack, but yeah, we turned on that racetrack way and was going behind some, I don't know, like I guess it was a back way or something like that. That he was telling her to go, and then so he hopped out and was like, "I'll see you later." And that's when.
So you don't remember streets or any of that?
I don't know the names, but I can see it in my head. Like I lived in the area for so long, so I could picture it in my head.
How long would you say that from the time you got in the car on Monaco and turned left onto Dunn Avenue, how long in minutes or seconds or whatever you want to put it, was it before Patrick got out of the car?
He insisted Patrick was dropped off just minutes after they left Monaco Arms. Investigators, however, said that version didn't match surveillance data or witness statements, deepening their suspicions.
Probably like 2 or 3. About 2 or 3 minutes.
2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you turn left onto Dunn Avenue from there and go past the big Highland Square Shopping Center, like Cece's is on this end and there's down where the Starbucks is, and then the next end and there's I think it's a KFC.
That's going towards like where the car wash and stuff is, right? Where Taco Bell and all.
Yeah. There's a big gas station right past that. There's KFC, CVS, and then that gas station. Is that where you're talking about?
No, there's one before that. There's one before that. Let's see. There's also a mini on the same side as the plaza that we were in. There's like this mini. It used to be a shrimp place or daycare or something like that. It's in I believe it's called Racetrack, but that store right there, that's before it, is where she turned at.
Okay, so turned off of Dunn Avenue there.
Yeah.
And then how far back into that neighborhood are we talking about where Patrick got out?
I'm not sure. It was nighttime, so I really don't remember. I really can't. But if I had to guess, I want to say like, it's probably like a 10-second drive, I would say.
10-second drive after turning off of Dunn Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think if we looked at like a Google map at some of the roads, you'd be able to maybe not say this is where he got out, but maybe some of the roads. Okay, we'll do that in just a couple of minutes. But you're pretty sure it was within 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm assuming, but yeah, knowing that street, it probably was like 3 minutes.
Okay, and it was back in that neighborhood by that gas station.
Yeah.
Didn't go out onto any main roads, Lim Turner, Broward, any of those?
No. After that, we got back on the main road. After that, we got back on the main road. And we usually when I'm with her, we usually take, you know where Save-A-Lot is? Do you guys remember coming to my house? Mm-hmm. Do you know where that Save-A-Lot and Family Dollar is? It's like a back road we usually take. That's like a shortcut to our house so we don't have to go through lights.
Where is your address? What is your address?
11160 Apple Blossom Trail.
Okay.
So it's like right there, like where Kendall Court used to be. Mm-hmm. Kendall Court, like where that Save-A-Lot of stuff is, so the back way, going by Ashley Park, I think it's called.
Leonid Road?
Yeah, Caper Road, actually.
Down Caper Road, and then back out around?
With FSCJ.
So you headed towards the college?
Yeah.
Was Patrick in the car then?
No, Patrick was in the car then. By that time, he was already out.
Okay, but Patrick got out shortly within a few seconds of turning off of Dunn Avenue the first time by that gas station.
Yeah. Correct.
Is there any reason that other people would tell me different?
No, I don't know. Not at all.
Because, and I'm asking that question for a reason.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. No,
Again, just like with whether or not Patrick was in the car, when I ask you a question, I know what a truthful answer should sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I come back and say, is there a reason that somebody else would tell me that? Because a truthful answer doesn't sound like it's been given.
Yeah, no.
Because we have it on good accord that Patrick was in the car quite a bit longer than that.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't, but by the time we at least was going to take me home, he wasn't in that car.
I understand that. He got dropped off before you did. You're right about that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't within a few seconds.
No, it was some minutes, but he wasn't in there for a long time because I kept telling her I'm not gonna stay here with this guy. Like, I'm smarter than that. Yeah, I made a dumb decision leaving my house without my mother knowing, but I'm not gonna stay in a car with the killer, especially if he just killed my
but was it some minutes or was it 2 to 3 minutes?
It was some minutes. I mean, like I said, I know the neighborhood and all that, but I can't tell it right off the top of my head. It was July 9th, but
it was a pretty significant emotional event that would stick in your memory banks a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
the event, of course, that would. But
I mean, you just got back in the car with somebody that shot your friend.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty upsetting in itself. And now here he is again, and trying to figure out how far we went. It seems like that would stick in your mind how long you were in the car.
Cameron argued that his mind was scrambled after watching his friend get shot. Detectives countered with a simple question. If he was truly afraid, why didn't he immediately seek out police?
Yeah,
with somebody that just shot your friend?
Yeah, it
because if it was me and I was in the car with somebody that just shot my friend and knows that I can identify him, I would be thinking, oh my goodness, this dude's getting ready to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's pretty logical, right?
Yeah.
So I would either unask that car pretty quick, or he would be out of that car pretty quick, something.
All right.
Okay?
Right.
And again...
Which is why I'm saying, this is probably why he got out as quick as he did. It wasn't some seconds, but I know he wasn't in there for a long period of time. Like, he wasn't in there no far as us going past Popeyes. That Popeyes is on San Mo, wasn't no farther than that. And Popeyes is like right there by, the same shrimp place that I was telling you guys about. Right there by KFC and all that as well.
And I have a problem with that. He was in the car longer than that. And you're shaking your head and rolling your eyes.
No, I'm not.
Rolling your eyes, looking around. I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way, but you're having the same reaction as you had when I asked you about whether or not he was in the car and kind of told you that I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Well, he was in the car much longer than you're making it sound like. And again, good, bad, and ugly. You've made some bad decisions.
All right.
Stop. There's only one version of the truth. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm being very, very honest with you guys. I'm trying to very hard, but it's like you guys are trying to make me say more than what is actually the truth, and that is the truth. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. This, like I told you, this is not something that I'm used to every single day. I don't just sit here and like you said, it is something very painful that happened with my friend, but it's not something that I want to keep thinking about. I keep wanting to relive or nothing like that. So if it's sounding like I'm lying, it is really not. I know my future is in jeopardy. I've just got to college and it's been amazing, and that's all I'm trying to go back. So if this means being honest with you guys, and like my attorney said, I will give you guys what you want to know. It's not like I had nothing to do with it. So it's not like I'm trying to take up for anybody. This is somebody that I've been growing up with since I was a kid that we're talking about.
Right.
Since we were small. Yeah, and I very much understand that. But like I said, this is not me knowing me. This is not something that I'm very sensitive about stuff like this. It doesn't matter how I act or nothing like that. This is not anything I want to relive or, go through at all. So if it sounds like I'm lying, I promise to you, I'm not at all. Like, I'm trying to cooperate.
But you have lied.
Yeah.
Is my problem. Yeah. I mean, if I came in here and said, your pants that's a nice shade of red. Does that make your pants red?
No.
Because they're red.
They're not.
But no, they're red. And if I sit here and call them red 1,000 times, are they going to turn red?
No.
No. But if I come in and lie to you about something, the next thing I tell you, are you going to think, is he telling the truth or is he being
Yeah.
Was he lying?
Right,
okay.
Which is what you. Yeah.
And that's where we're at. Okay.
I totally understand that.
You came in the first night and gave your explanation. I'm sorry. We came back and talked to you again and asked specifically if Patrick was in the car. Oh no, he wasn't in the car. If he was in the car, I would have told somebody. Your words, not mine. Okay. And then you come in today and you go through it, and no, he wasn't in the car. But then he was. Okay? So, I want to believe everything you tell me, but it's going to be hard because you have lied to me about several things. That's why we're here today getting through these things. Okay? You've lied just today about whether or not he was in the car. And to try to downplay how long he was in the car to make it fit your narrative of, oh, I made her get out, is not helping you. I know how long he was in the car. I know where he got dropped off. And it was not within a couple of minutes.
If you say so, but like I told you, it was, from what I was saying, what I remember, it was within minutes. From what I remember.
From what you remember, okay.
Like, I mean, I'm not trying to, get on the bright side of anything, but, I mean, let's keep in mind, I just witnessed my best friend get shot. I'm in a panic mode. There's blood on my hands. This is nothing I've been through, so.
And I understand all that. But again, looking at it from the other side, if I just jump back in a car and look over and realize the dude that shot my best friend, somebody that I call my brother, is also in the car.
You get out.
Yeah. And you stayed in the car. And he stayed in the car. Maybe you don't remember exactly how long. Okay?
The only reason I stayed in the car was because I knew I didn't have another way home. And if I would have told my mom like that, my mom doesn't play those games. She doesn't tolerate any of that.
Well, you knew that the police were there by then, right? Because remember you said you waved at them when they were going into the complex. You could have jumped out of the car and ran and told them, hey, the dude that shot my friend is in that car.
You're right. Well, yeah. I wasn't thinking about it at that time, I guess.
No, you wanted to get the hell out of there and be as far away and hope that nobody ever connected you to it. And I get that.
I'm sorry?
I said you wanted to get out of there and get as far away from it as you could and hope that nobody ever connected you to it. I get that. I understand.
Well, okay.
Are you saying you didn't want to get far away?
No, it's not. No, I'm not saying that. I wanted to get far away from the situation, but I was just trying to.
Are you saying
it was just sounding like you meant like I wasn't going to ever tell anybody? Like when that wasn't how it was at all.
When were you going to tell somebody?
I was going to tell my mom. I really was going to tell her, and like I told you guys, I was in there just thinking about whatever was going on. I had happened to fall asleep, but I didn't want to go home to tell her just yet because it had just happened. I didn't want her to go through whatever this was, and it was. So initially, yeah, of course I was gonna tell somebody. I was just gonna let him. I just witnessed him sitting there and he's left for dead, and I won't say nothing about it. Like, no, that would be on my conscience heavier than it is now.
So you were so distraught by the events of that evening that you were able to go home and go to sleep.
Like I wasn't able to just automatically go to sleep. It was something that was on my brain, and I was just like, and I didn't even initially just go home. Like I was at home, and I went to my grandmother's house and asked her, was it okay if I could sleep over there? But no, it's not. Like I didn't want anything to do with helping him or anything like that. Like I wanted to get away from the police stuff and all that, but it wasn't nothing that you guys are not trying to make.
The pressure intensified as investigators pointed out that leaving the scene instead of calling 911 made him appear complicit. Cameron admitted he only wanted to get as far away from it as possible.
What's Ashanti's phone number? Is she in speed dial?
No, she's not.
So you have to dial how many digits to call her?
About 10.
10? How many digits is 911?
3.
That's a lot faster, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. You're right.
So from the outside looking in, it seems like you wanted to get the hell away from there and hope nobody ever associated you with it.
And at the time, it probably was that.
Okay.
It probably was.
And that doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you somebody that made some bad choices that night. Some bad stuff happened. But now you're on the road to start to try to make this stuff right. Okay? Which is what we came in here trying to tell you to begin with. And again, neither one of us is going to jump up and down, yell and scream and throw stuff and act like you see on TV. Yeah. We're going to let you tell your story. I'm going to ask you about stuff that doesn't seem accurate. And you're either going to make it right or you're going to sell me a BS story that's going to hurt you in the long run.
Gotcha.
Okay? Gotcha. So, are we absolutely sure on our timeline that to your best of your recollection, Patrick got out of the car within...
Now, I can say it was within some minutes, but I can't just tell you right off the bat.
Detective, would you like to maybe take a look at a map or something in case the timeline in his head is wrong, like where he could actually tell you Patrick got dropped off?
Yeah, we can pull a map up.
I didn't know if that might help.
And when you say some minutes, I mean 2 to 3 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. You want to get yours?
Yeah.
Just in case the timeline is. But I mean, he got dropped off on the same road. That was very much truthful.
Okay.
It's on the same road.
We're gonna look at the map. Look at the map.
I just asked that in case the timeline in your head's wrong. You can actually say, because you're from that area, you can tell the detective this is exactly, because that's all that matters is where you dropped him off, how far away.
You need some more water? You good?
I'm good. Just trying to get my voice back.
You on scholarship?
Actually, I'm on about 4.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4.
What kind of singing they had you doing so far?
They've had me doing free singing. Nobody, that's just me, like, you know how you get on campus and people are trying to find what you're majoring in. Well, mine was music tech. And actually, this is something you guys would probably be appreciative of. I was music tech and people were like, oh, so what do you do? What instrument do you play? I was like, well, I'm initially a singer. I was like, oh, you can sing. And every time I say yes, it's like, oh, let me hear something. And I'm not one to back down. I'm sort of a ladies man. So, like the ladies, I like to hear what they're going to say. And I just started singing to them and it got carried away. So I just lost my voice. But, initially, thinking about it, actually, I think I wanted to, instead of majoring in music, I wanted to minor in music tech and major in psychology so I could be a motivational speaker.
Okay.
From situations like this. And this was sort of something that helped me make that decision.
Okay.
And it's like, and you can ask my parents and all them, it's like, well, what made you say that? And it's like, well, because it's never too late. Like, I'm not saying that we're out of this yet or this is all done. Or I hope so and I wish it is, but I could have been arrested by now and stuff could have happened and, things I could have actually been dead. All 3 of us could have been dead. It could have been me instead of Richard, and all that. And I basically got a second chance at life. Like, I'm Christian, so I believe things work in God's favor for a reason. So it's like, well, I'm going to use that to my advantage and take my experience and try to help other, troubled kids or, kids that don't have that much faith in their self. So initially I told her, I was like, Mom, and this was actually on the way back down here. I was like, Mom, I know you're going to be mad at me, but I changed my major. She was like, what? She's like, I want to be a psychologist. She was like, for what?
Sorry.
She's like, just for the motivational speaker.
Well, you may change your mind a couple of times in between now and then too. If you're
that's what they're saying.
That's what everybody does
first. Way through it, but here's done in Monaco, and that's heading west. So if you want to kind of
navigate through it, everybody changes a little bit.
So this is Monaco.
Yeah, this is Monaco.
This is where it happened. This is where it happened.
Yeah, you would have
actually back here.
It happened right back here. You would have gotten in the car.
Oh, right, yeah.
In this area.
Sorry, yeah. So it was right here. I got it right here.
So we came here, we turned left on Dunn.
Truck keys, scroll up. Yeah.
Standing over a map of Dunn Avenue and Broward Road, Cameron tried to pinpoint where Patrick exited the vehicle. Each answer exposed inconsistencies between his story and the documented route taken.
Came off. We had a couple. I don't know if there's a couple lights somewhere. And there
you can
is.
Go back to the street view if you need to where you can actually. No,
there should be. Is this the plaza?
Mm-hmm.
The
Starbucks is right here.
So keep going. And around this area, there's a gas station somewhere.
Right or the left?
The left, like on the same side of the.
Is it the big one?
The racetrack.
This racetrack?
Yeah, it was right here, and we were coming back. I want to say. Was it this street? It was one of these streets. but I remember the seafood place. So it was one of these streets that were coming on.
This one, it used to be a house, and now, little crab shack they sell it out of, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you turned on one of these?
Yeah, we turned on one of those, and that's when I knew he was saying, get out, like, just let me out the car. That's what I was trying to get you guys when I was saying it's like right there by the little racetrack.
So he got out right in this area?
It was, we turned on one of these roads, but the specific, like I said, it was nighttime, so I don't know where, but yeah, it was over there.
You lived in that area for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
All right. You're familiar with Broward Road?
Where Water's Edge is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know that eventually it comes out on Lem Turner, right?
Broward?
You referenced Kendall Court Apartments earlier.
Yeah.
You're familiar with those?
Yeah.
Okay. They're on, what road are they located on?
It's the Billy Slim Turner, right?
Correct. All right. So somewhere between that road that you cut through to get back to Lem Turner from Dunn Avenue is called Leonid Road. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with Leonid.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I'm not specific with the road, but I forgot.
What about Biscayne? You know where Dunn and Biscayne is?
Yeah.
Okay, so
car wash is.
Right. So if you turn right, you go on the car wash. If you turn left, I'll take you to the intersection.
Yeah.
This is very different looking at it from the top.
All right. This is Biscayne.
Yeah.
Okay. Oil change place, car wash right there.
Right.
Right. Pawn shop here. This is Leonid Road. All right.
Okay.
Biscayne continues south through here to Broward.
Okay.
So this road, I may be getting too big of a picture here for you to be able to keep up with. Kendall Court Apartments, back up in there. I think we're gonna have to zoom in a little bit more. I guess my point is this: is that as you're passing down that road, it eventually takes you to Lem Turner.
Right.
Okay. You turn left on Lem Turner, and it takes you where? Capper Road. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Capper Road, you would turn right to go back where? Toward your place?
Towards
Okay.
FCJ.
Or if you kept going south, which is down Lem Turner Road, Kendall Court would be on your left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. This road that runs along the river right here is called Broward Road. All right?
Okay.
Now, you know where Broward comes out to Lem Turner, right? Where the little food store is. If you pass Kendall Court, and right before you go over that little bridge, there's the food store on the left.
Yeah.
You're familiar with that, right? Okay. So, at any point when y'all were back in that neighborhood,
Excuse me.
Tied up.
at any point when you were back in the neighborhood, did you ever end up on that road, Broward Road, that comes from Water's Edge back toward Lem Turner?
To be honest with you guys, I'm not sure. I know when we came back onto like a main road, it was, I remember seeing the seafood place that, you said was a little smaller building.
So you came back to Dunn Avenue?
Yeah, from what I remember. Yeah, but.
You know where the old Kmart is? Once you go...
Moses?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know we never went that way.
You never went that way?
Never went that way.
Okay.
You sure?
Positive. Never went that way.
And that's what you're going to go with?
Yeah, I promise you, we never went that way. And in order to go that way, you have to pass my house. I wasn't.
No.
Well, not necessarily. If you cut through up here and went down to
Broward,
Broward,
down Broward and hang a left and go over the bridge.
Well, yeah, the back way, but we were on the main street before we got. The only back way that we went on the street was.
This was the killing that turned Cameron into a suspect in Richard Green's death. Inside the Jacksonville interrogation room, detectives focused on the distance traveled after the gunshot, the moment where the story began to crack.
What I told you, where I'm going towards FSCJ.
But that would have been taking you home after he had already gotten out of the car.
Yeah, before.
Okay.
So.
And again, I know a lot of things happen that night, and they happen pretty rapidly, and they happen quick. And significant emotional event adds a little bit of stress that ordinarily wouldn't be there. And then here you are, you find yourself back in the car with the person who killed your friend. Right? But someone else who was in that car is telling a little bit different version of events in terms of where you went immediately after. And it wasn't a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. It was a longer period of time than that.
So there's where I went?
No, before Patrick, where everyone went, before Patrick got out of that vehicle.
Okay, so.
All right.
I know I'm not, I don't know if I can ask, but like.
You can ask, but I'm not going to tell you. I know what you're going to ask. Who's telling that? And
no,
that's
not what I was asking, but I was saying like where, because I'm.
And again, that's not the way this works, okay? Right. You're the one who has agreed to come in here with your attorney and tell us everything that you know, all right?
We'll just tell you this,
it's not where you said it was.
Significantly different than that.
From what I remember, I promise you, it was, as we were getting back on the main street, he wasn't no longer in the car with us.
Okay.
So, I mean, whatever they are telling you, I promise you, it's not accurate.
Well, would you agree or disagree that everything you have told us is accurate?
I disagree.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And so I think you can understand kind of our position and where we're coming from at this point. And if it was a matter of where you're saying it was as opposed to 2 blocks away, that would be literally playing semantics. But that's not what this is. We're talking a considerable distance away. Yeah. Which leads us to believe that there was probably some type of dialogue or conversation between you and or everyone else in that vehicle about this significant event that you just witnessed or that was just committed. Okay. That either for whatever reason you're reluctant to talk about or disclose because I think you're trying to convince yourself or you're trying to suppress the stuff in your brain because you've repeatedly said over and over that you don't want to reflect on this. You don't want to continue to be involved in this. You don't want to continue to think about what happened. Unfortunately, this is something that's going to be with you for the rest of your life.
It's not going away.
This is a significant event. Okay. So it is very important, and I can't stress this enough. Same thing your attorney has done. Same thing Detective Edwards has done. Very important to just do. The truth is the truth. All right. If y'all rode along, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you were in the car longer than what you said you were in the car, and there was a discussion about what happened, now's the time to get this out in the open. The last thing you want to do is go down and get yourself into a full semester at school, and then next thing you know, detectives show up at your doorstep, wherever you're staying down there, and have a warrant for you for accessory after the fact of murder.
Right.
That's not why we are here today, Cameron. All right.
Yeah, and I know it's like, I don't see why the distance or wherever we went would hurt, but we didn't go nowhere further than this road. And that is the complete truth. Like,
okay.
That's what I'm not getting. We didn't go nowhere as far as that road from where it starts from the car wash to Walgreens. He didn't proceed to get he wasn't even in the car after that.
Okay. Where was he in the car when you got in the car? Where was Patrick?
Patrick was in the passenger seat.
Passenger as in right next to you, or passenger as in?
He wasn't next to me. He wasn't next to me.
Okay. But what side of the car did you get in?
On the driver's side.
You got in on the driver's side of the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was in the front passenger seat?
He was in the front seat.
Okay. Did he have anything with him?
No, not other. I mean, I wasn't, to be honest with you, I wasn't trying to come in any contact with him, but no. All I can remember was what he had with him was the, that little wrist thing, bandana that he had on his wrist, in his hand.
Okay.
But that's.
Did he have the gun with him still?
I don't know.
That's BS.
No, swear to God, I don't.
This car, the inside of that car is not even as big as this table.
Yeah, but do you honestly think I can see if he has it in his lap from the backseat of where I'm sitting, that I'm just going to be able to see the gun in his lap?
Y'all just killed somebody. He just killed someone. Y'all are in the same car. People are not going to get in there and just go,
yeah, well,
we're all right. We're just going to sit here and be quiet. Again, a significant event. Okay?
Right. There's no telling what he did, what he could have done with the gun, though, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if he had the gun or not. I hope he didn't, but there's no telling when he ran, if he threw it, or there's no telling, but I know he didn't have the gun.
You were scared of this guy?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So scared that you got in the car with him?
No, because I didn't know he was in the car when I got in there.
I believe he asked you earlier. When you open the door and you see him in the car.
You said that was your only way to get away from there.
Yeah.
Which is false.
But you had another way to get away from there.
With the police. Yeah. But like I said, I wasn't thinking about that at the time, man.
And then you continued in the car with him to hear by your story. We've been told otherwise. But let's you know what? For today, I'll say, okay, he got out here, right here where you say he got out.
No, well, okay.
or in this area, Why not turn around and go back and tell the police, hey, I was here, I know what happened?
Because I was scared. I mean, it's
scared of what?
Of what just happened. I mean, let's think about it. Blood's on my hands. I was out when I wasn't supposed to be, and I'm going to get in trouble with my mom. I don't know nothing about whatever police thing is going on. And then also at the same time, I mean, I'm in a car with a murderer.
By choice. You got in the car with him.
Well, I'm in a car with him. I was just scared, basically. I was scared. I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to go home. I wanted to go home. I didn't want to be in the area no more or what was happening. And I was already emotional. I just seen what's the name die. Like, I didn't want no parts of it. I just wanted to go home.
His name's Richard.
Richard. Yeah.
You referred to him as your brother, lifelong friend.
Yeah.
Not what's his name. His name was Richard.
Richard, yeah. I don't have the answers to all of this, but I'm really trying to get
the truth is the truth, and there's only one version of the truth.
Right.
And that's where the answers come from. And that's why we're here today. Because again, I don't know if in your mind we talked to you, we talked to the girlfriend, we talked to Ashanti, we got a warrant, and we patted each other on the back and had breakfast and said, good job, we're done. We've done a lot of work since then. Okay? You come in, you say that you were running out after Patrick shot Richard and you tried to flag down the police off and were adamant that nobody else was in the car. And then somebody was. Okay. Not just somebody, but Patrick. Your explanation of just randomly meeting up with Patrick and him happening to mention that he wanted to buy some marijuana, and then it happened to come out that you know somebody that sells some marijuana, and that you just happened to call Richard and see if he would meet you there, but yet there was about 22 calls between you and Richard.
No, I didn't just say...
Listen. There was about 22 calls from you trying to get in touch with Richard back and forth, playing phone tag all day. You were pretty hot and heavy trying to get in touch with him.
Right.
So, for just a second, you know how courtrooms are, right?
Right.
In a courtroom, when there's a criminal proceeding going on, you got the judge, you got a table over here with the prosecutors, you got a table over here with the defendants, and you got a panel over here that's the jury. Okay? Put yourself in the jury shoes for a minute, okay? Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
And imagine hearing a prosecutor say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to present to you a person who met with his friend, introduced his friend to somebody, got in the car with him, drove about 200 yards, and his friend was shot in the head by the person that this person introduced him to. This person then ran off. Didn't call the police. Jumped in a car that the person who shot his friend was in. Drove a certain amount of time. And then went home. And didn't call the police. And then finally, when the police found him, came downtown and gave an explanation that was false. And then was brought back in and asked to tell the truth and gave an explanation that was false.
Before a jury, investigators laid out a tight sequence. Cameron vouched for Patrick and persuaded Richard to unlock the door. Less than a minute later, Richard was shot. The timeline fit together too cleanly to be coincidence.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this person involved or not involved? What's your vote?
It makes you seem like I'm involved.
Yes or no, involved?
Yes.
Okay. The rubber has hit the road. And again, it's time for you to stop with the song and dance and lay out the good and the bad and the ugly. So we can sort through exactly how involved you are. Because you are. And we know you are.
Involved? How? Like, I'm.
That's what we're getting to today. How far involved are you going to be?
Yeah. Oh, so what is it?
Because you didn't just walk up to the car and talk about music and BS for a minute and then happen to let him get in the car. You convinced Richard to let him get in the car. You vouched for him. This is my boy. And less than a minute later, he's dead. Why'd you vouch for him?
Off of the name of my sister. I just told him he knew my sister. He's cool people. I mean, I don't.
You talked Richard into letting him in the car. A minute later, he's dead. Okay?
Yeah.
Now keep yourself in this jury spot and listening as somebody on a jury, okay? You didn't just happen to come across Patrick walking through that parking lot.
We're talking jury-wise right now.
I'm talking to you right now, but you can picture yourself as a jury. You can answer the question. We didn't just happen to stumble across Richard walking through that parking lot.
Patrick.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
We did. We did. Patrick, now that's going to turn into you guys saying he was with us before, which definitely was not the truth at all. Patrick was never with us before.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Because again, when I follow up a question with, "Are you sure?" it's because I have information to suggest powerfully otherwise.
I am very much positive. Patrick was not in that car with us before. I didn't know of Patrick. I didn't know who Patrick was until afterwards. And then after I had to talk deeper into my sister, she was telling me more about him.
You'd never met him a day before in your life. Never, ever, ever.
I didn't know this guy.
And he wasn't in the car when we were riding around with Ashanti during the day.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. We had talks. You can ask his mother. I told her that, she said she was looking for a lawnmower if I knew where a lawnmower was. And I was like, well, my grandmother has one. I usually go and cut her grass. And she was like, oh, well, I'll do it. And I was like, hey, tell your mom, if she pays me a little bit, I'll go ahead and do it. And she has a big grass. So I knew it was going to be, a good amount of money. And that's when I called. You guys, I know you guys checked my phone. You see when I called my grandmother and she didn't answer. She wasn't home. So therefore we couldn't get the lawnmower. But yeah, he definitely was not with us. None that day at all, period. Or any time before that. I haven't met Richard. I haven't met Patrick. I didn't know Patrick. And that's true. And yes, that's the story I'm going to stick with.
Okay. Because again, I wasn't in the car.
Yeah, so, I mean...
And Detective Hopefully wasn't in the car. None of us were in the car. We can only go by what people that were in the car are saying.
Right. But he definitely wasn't with us before.
If that's what you're going to go with.
No, that is most likely what
Okay. So, your contention, your explanation is you and Ashanti are in the car with her sister.
Yeah.
How long had you been in the car with Ashanti and her sister?
It was like, as soon as we left our house, it was probably a good, I want to say it was maybe a good hour or two.
Where'd you go?
We were driving, we were initially driving over to my grandma's house. I know that. We was heading her direction.
Where does your grandma live?
She lives over in, Sherwood area.
Mm-hmm.
She lives over there, Harborview. She lives over there. And she didn't answer her phone, so we made a U-turn and we were just, right around the Dunn Avenue area. I wasn't going to go home then because I'm usually around with Ashanti 25E. Like she's my ride or die.
Okay. So she picks you up at about what time?
It was afternoon time. I don't know specific. It was afternoon.
Okay. And headed over towards your grandma's to try to get a lawnmower.
Earlier that afternoon, Cameron had called Richard repeatedly. They drove around for hours before randomly crossing paths with Patrick. What looked scattered at first was starting to resemble a structured plan.
She wasn't there?
She wasn't there.
So you just rode around?
And we were riding around just trying to find something to do.
Riding around calling Richard?
Yeah, me and Richard were talking about it before I still calling and trying to get in contact with Richard.
Okay. And then made plans to meet Richard at CC's.
Yeah, he called me back.
Okay. And said, I'll meet you at CC's.
Yes, and come meet me.
Where were you roughly? I'm not asking exactly, but
Well,
where were you?
Not there. I was initially about to go home.
Okay.
I was going to go home, and that's when he was calling me, and we were actually coming. I want to say we were coming from passing by like 7-Eleven and Gate, like
down by Dunn and 295. Okay.
We were going there, and that's when I got the call, and we hit a U-turn. I told, okay, well, we're coming.
Okay. And who's in the car then?
It was me, her sister, and Ashanti.
Okay. So you turn around and head back to CC's.
Yeah, back to CC's. Oh, no, that back had 2 CC's.
Or head to CC's. And what part of the parking lot did you pull into?
Over there by where T-Mobile and Little Caesars and more.
Okay. And driving over to CC's, and where did you happen to see Patrick?
It was right there. I told you where Checkers had, where it used to be has, where Checkers has and Starbucks is. It's over there in that area.
Okay. And stopped and talked to him for a minute?
Yeah, he stopped. Yeah.
And what was that conversation?
It was, I don't know the conversation, but I know I heard he was looking for drugs because my sister looked back and was like, do you know if Richard still has, any drugs? And I was like, I don't know, but you can always go see.
Okay.
And that's when she let me in the car. She let Patrick in the car. We rode over there. And that's when I got in the car. That stuff was going on, and I told him about Patrick, and he let Patrick in and told him he didn't have it on him. He didn't have no drugs on him.
Okay.
So he had to go across the street, and that's when everything happened.
So did you and Patrick walk up to Richard's car together, or did you go first and then bring him out?
Patrick, yeah, I was there first. Patrick didn't get out the car as soon as I got out.
Any reason that other people would tell me different?
I don't know why, but no, he got out. He got out probably a minute or two after me when I was already in the car. It was a car that was between Richard's car and Ashanti's car.
Okay.
And that's when I got in the car and was going through the music stuff, and that's when I mentioned Patrick to Richard. And he was asking me who the dude was, and I was like, well, he's a good dude. He knows my sister and all. She says she knows him from a while back, so he's just looking for some. I guess he's just looking for some drugs. How
much were we trying to buy?
I'm not sure. He also asked me that too, and I told him I didn't know. Because he didn't have, that's not the conversation that me and him had. He had that conversation with Ashanti. She just told me Richard still sell, and I was like, well, I don't know, but we can always go see.
So Ashanti knows Richard as well?
Yeah, Ashanti knows Richard. We all went to the same school.
Okay.
First Coast.
So you walk up to Richard's car.
Yeah.
Did you get in right away?
Yeah, right away. I spoke with someone, unlocked the door, and that's when I was going in there talking.
And that's when you talked about music for a minute, and then Richard came over?
Yeah, Patrick came over? That's when, he was telling Patrick to come over, and I got halfway out the car and signaled them to come over.
When you say them?
Not them, him. Sorry.
Okay. So why would I be told and have a pretty strong feeling that you and Patrick walked up to the car together, and Richard even questioned you, who is this that you're showing up with? And you said, oh, it's my boy, he's cool. He ain't gonna hurt you. It's my boy, he's cool.
Yeah, well, he's seen him. Yeah, I'm sorry. If I missed this part, I'm sorry. When I was initially getting out the car, Patrick was getting out the car. But, me knowing how Richard is, I told him, don't come yet. And I didn't know that he'd seen him. But afterwards, I told him, he's cool. He's somebody my sister knows. And blase. And that's when, when I was walking over there, I had to mention, after doing the music, mentioned the things about, him wanting some weed. And that's when the conversation with him proceeded.
Okay. So he got out of the car a little bit, but didn't walk all the way over.
No, he got out of the car and was about to walk over, but I didn't.
But you walked up to Richard's car by yourself.
Yeah.
Why would I be told otherwise?
I don't know. But he didn't walk up to the car with me when I was up with Richard's car, because I got in right after. He wasn't in the car when I got in the car. He didn't get in the car right after when I got in the car.
So we're off on that timing, but you did vouch for him.
Yeah.
You did say this is my boy. He wants to buy some weed.
Inside the car, Patrick was unusually quiet. Cameron claimed he was focused on the music. Detectives believed the silence wasn't meaningless. It felt less like chance and more like someone waiting for the right moment.
Can you help him out?
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. You tell me.
I mean, yeah, I didn't.
You talked to him about music for a minute, and then what?
I didn't necessarily say he was my boy, but I said, yeah, this is, somebody that my sister. And I made sure he knew that because I know, like I said, I know Richard for quite some time, so I know how he acts and reacts to stuff. And
Which is what? How does he act and react to stuff?
like I told you, Richard is a drug dealer. So Richard, like, if he's somebody that he knows looks like it's suspicious or something going on, then he'll be like, oh nah, tell him I don't. Or he'll say, cut who that is, or he'll ask me, like, if you come to see me, you with somebody, or tell them they can't come. Like, whenever I go to his house as well, like, somebody's dropping me off.
In fact, this night, didn't he ask you if you were with someone?
That night? Yeah, I told him I was with my sister.
Not with Patrick?
No. It's that he definitely did ask me that, though.
And we can agree that he was very careful.
Yeah.
He was very particular.
Yeah.
Okay?
And he's always like that.
Because, well, you've told me that. His mom has told me that. His girlfriend has told me that.
Yeah,
so I absolutely, wholeheartedly, 100% believe that he was very careful and very particular about who he let in his car.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have just let Patrick, a random stranger, get in his car without somebody giving him some reassurance and vouching for him.
And I told him, this somebody, my sister knows he seems like a cool dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, he did. He seemed like in the car with him. When she introduced us, he was just asking me, you know her, this used to be, and he was like sort of playing wise, like, hey, this used to be my baby, like, just trying to be cool. So off of, that little mini conversation, he was like a cool dude. So I told him, he's cool. He's somebody, my sister, he basically.
Okay. So you vouch for him at the door, or at the car. Richard agrees to let Patrick in.
After he asked me what was he trying to get, and I told him I didn't know. Like, what you just asked me?
You told him you didn't know how much, or you didn't know what he wanted?
I didn't know. Well, he knew he wanted some drugs, but he was asking when he was asking how much, I didn't know because I wasn't getting any.
Okay. So eventually he lets him in the car.
Right.
We pull across the street into the Monaco Arms apartments, and what happened?
When we pulled across the street in Monaco?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could you sort of go back to?
How far back you want it?
I'm just going to Monaco.
Oh, too far. Is that good enough for you?
This is what happened.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
No, I thought you said it was the other street. No, yeah, it was right here. It was like as soon as we got to where these trees are, and I remember because we were by some trees when it happened. It's as soon as where we got right here into closer in the neighborhood, that's when he pulled out his gun and was going to rob us and stuff. And the car was still in motion when he opened fire, and it was still moving. We got to, these are the houses that I went to go knock on doors and stuff at. So about time, he had to shoot him right here, and hadn't got out the car because we were still, we're moving slow. But as we were moving, I had time to stop. He just put his foot on the brake and put the car apart. So that's how far we got into whatever was going on. But in the process of it, I was talking to him, about music, and I even had the YouTube instrumental on my phone.
And you said, what about your wallet?
I didn't have my wallet. I threw my wallet. My wallet was gone.
Threw it where?
I threw it toward him because he was robbing us. Did
he pick it up?
I'm not sure. I was like I told you guys before, when he had the gun,
Well, I mean, like we've told you before, you told us a lot before that it has not been accurate. So don't preface it with like I told you before, because that puts me on alert. I mean,
Okay,
Again, there's one version of the truth, and that's the truth.
Well, I threw in a lot of his direction and like kept my head like this, and was sort of in screaming, talking, and that's when like within like 2 to 3 seconds the shot fired, and I was in shock for like a good 5 seconds because the shot was fired. I didn't know who was fired at, what was going on, but the gun was out and the shot was fired in the car. And by the time I looked up, Richard was on the window. And that's when I looked over to the side, the door was open.
At Monaco Arms, the gun appeared. In seconds, everything collapsed. Richard fell, and Cameron said he panicked. Yet instead of running to police, he returned to the very car carrying the shooter.
And I stopped the car. When I seen the door open, the car was still moving. And I stopped the car and put his foot on the brake, and that's when like started, emotion started getting to me. We both started crying. His girlfriend was asking me, she was asking me, did you see where he go? Do you know where, do you know if my boyfriend's dead? Is he dead? Did you see where the boy go? Like, she was asking me all that. And I was like, no.
Did he pick your wallet up?
I don't know. I wasn't worried about the wallet after that because
Did you ask him when you got back in the car with him if he had your wallet?
No. I forgot about the wallet after that. The wallet wasn't even on my mind.
Okay. So you don't know where it ended up?
No. I know I had to get a new wallet, a new ID, a new card. I'm still having to go through now. But I tried to ask my mom, would it be okay if you take me over there to, try and get, like, see if we can go over there to get it, but she doesn't even want me over there in that area anymore.
And you're 100% certain?
Yes, that's what happened.
100% certain that Patrick got in the car when you say so over by Starbucks?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because again, and just like your pants are red, if I tell you your pants are red, you're going to try to check everything I say because obviously I'm trying to convince you of something that may not be true. And the reason I keep coming back to stuff and asking to clarify is have it on good accord that that's not 100% accurate.
I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm sorry, it's not. I don't know what else you want me to say. I know he didn't get in the car he wasn't in the car with us before, and we met him in the plaza. It may have been that specific spot, but he got in that car with us when we were in the plaza. That's where we met him at. He never was with us that whole entire day until that time in the plaza.
Do you know if he had been with Ashanti anymore that day?
I don't.
But you were with Ashanti since noon.
I did, yeah, but I didn't know she wasn't with him when she first came to my house. She wasn't with him,
which was around noon.
Yeah, she wasn't with him. She never mentioned the name Patrick to me before. Like, the only other person that I know that's a guy that she dates, his name was Samaj, and that was when we were in middle school.
Okay.
Like, that's the only guy that I know if she even talked about or even talked to.
So, you, Ashanti, and Ashanti's sister rode around in Ashanti's car from noon until meeting up with Richard. Yeah. Never saw Patrick.
No.
Never just hung out there on Dunn Avenue.
Never talked to Patrick. Never seen Patrick. Never even heard of Patrick.
Until just randomly coming upon him.
And that's when, I don't know if they talked, but from speaking of me, I've never seen Patrick until that time when she introduced us. And that's when I was like, okay, well, I was going off the face of my sister. She's cool people. If she, she said she used to talk, she'd hang out with him, they were talking. I was thinking he'd be cool as well. He's just as cool as she is. She'd be fine. So it was basically just my thinking.
So we get in the car, drive over, and everything bad happens. And then you made your bad decisions from there.
Yes, sir.
And there was no discussion other than Patrick trying to get some weed.
Yeah. Yeah. And the parking lot, yeah. I didn't, like I said, I don't know what they were talking about. I was in the back seat, and like I told you, I've been with her since noontime. It's been a couple hours that we were with each other, and I was initially telling her to take me home because it It was getting tired. And that's when I got the call from Richard. I was just going to tell Richard, I'll catch you tomorrow. But then he called me and told me he was in my area. Richard lives in Oshaway. So I don't know if he normally comes. He doesn't really come around where I live on Duns most of the time that I talk to him. He works on the south side. He works in Yulee. So he's usually on the south side doing whatever. And that's when he told me, well, I'm over here. We are CC's Pizza. Before I take what's the name home, I'm going, you can come over and we can do the music thing. That's when I went over. I told my sister, well, turn around right quick. Richard just called me. Let's go there before I go home.
And that's where you're going to try to leave it today?
Yes, sir.
The choice to remain with Patrick became the central question. Detectives argued it wasn't fear, but confidence, the kind of confidence that comes from believing you won't be harmed by someone you know.
I'm telling you guys what I know. I'm telling you guys what I know. I'm telling you guys what I remember. I'm not covering nothing if that's what you guys are thinking. I'm not trying to save my own ass, excuse me, because there's nothing. I'm not a part of nothing. I don't have any, whatever you guys are thinking. I've already been trying to see what could you guys possibly, there hasn't been nothing that you guys would have thought. I have no reason to be a part of whatever was going on, at all. So I'm really trying to help with you guys. I'm trying to cooperate.
Shanti's a good friend of yours, right?
Correct.
Still a good friend, or?
She won't even talk to me now.
She won't talk to you now?
No, she won't. She won't even get in contact with me. I'm seeing her. I've done everything. I've told her, sis, I don't.
At the time this happened, y'all were obviously pretty tight.
Me and Ashanti?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've always been, Ashanti's always been my.
You trust her?
Do I trust her? Yeah.
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 I mean, y'all were good friends, right?
I mean, you vouched for Patrick based on knowing her.
Based on your relationship with her and somebody that you claim that you just met minutes before.
Yeah.
You vouched for someone.
Yeah.
That says to me that you have a very good relationship with someone, a very trusting relationship.
Yeah.
That you value her opinion and her relationship that much that you would be willing to put your word on somebody else. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, no reason or incentive for Ashanti to tell us anything different than what you're telling us. Y'all were in the same vehicle.
Right.
For the same length of period of time. Right? Okay. So then, everything you're telling us should be very consistent with what she's telling us.
Correct.
It's not.
And that's where the problem is.
That's where the problem is. Okay? There's no motivation or incentive for her to tell us that. To make up or manufacture, fabricate, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you know why? Because it's the truth. Okay? She told us the truth. We didn't hem-haw around and come in here and have to physically extract every tiny little bit of information out of her. Okay? Stop trying to think in your brain where we're going with the investigation and just tell us exactly what happened. Tell this man exactly what happened. Who was with y'all earlier in the day? How long you were together? Because this mess of just meeting him minutes before this happened is not accurate.
This guy was not with us. That guy was not with us. What? Now, if he was with her and she dropped him off or something like that, then that's just that. But he was not in that car with me before. He was not in that car with us before.
You know why this is weighing so heavy on you?
Because you're a good person.
Because you're a good person, you got a conscience as well. That's why it's weighing so heavy on you.
What do you mean by that?
Because if you didn't have a conscience and you weren't a good person, you wouldn't give a damn about the fact that Richard's dead.
Right.
Right?
I mean,
and it bothers you. Does it bother you that your lifelong friend or nearly a lifelong friend was killed right in front of you?
Of course it does. I know it's never going to go away. But my only thing is, we're in here to help solve what was going on with Richard, correct?
We are, and we thought you were part of that as well.
I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to give you guys everything that
you shouldn't have to try.
Yeah,
it should be something that just happens. Okay.
There is no trying to give us everything we're asking. There is no trying to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You either do or you don't. And you came in the door and sold us a bad story.
Okay, well, he was not with us before. You don't have to be. I know you probably won't. This guy was not with us in the car. Now, like I told you guys, if he was with her before she came and got us, then that's a different story. But when I was with her and her sister, he was not nowhere in that car. He was nowhere in that car.
And you can't think of any reason that she would lie.
No, and that really pisses me off. Like, I don't know why, but she was nowhere in that car with us. At all. Like, really?
Well, and even if you take out that we talked to you that night and didn't get a true version, we came back a couple of days later and didn't get a true version, and we came in here today and didn't get a true version. If you leave all that over here and don't even put that in the mix, completely forget that ever happened.
Cameron continued denying Patrick had been with them all afternoon. But Ashanti's account told a different story. When two narratives collide, one of them is bending the truth.
It's hard for a logical person to look at this situation and accept and wrap their mind around you, Ashanti, and Ashanti's sister in the car. You've been feverishly trying to get in touch with Richard all day.
Yeah.
You finally are on your way to get there. And lo and behold, you stumble across Patrick randomly, who coincidentally wants to buy some weed, who coincidentally you're able to say, Richard sells weed. I'm already going to see Richard anyway. We can take care of two birds with one stone. And then you drive around, you vouch for him pretty hard because we've all agreed he was pretty particular about who he let in his car. And a minute later he's dead. That's a lot of coincidences.
People see people that they don't know everywhere all the time. All the time, to be honest with you. So I don't see how it's just a coincidence he was just in that plaza.
They see people that they don't know all the time, but they don't allow that person to get in the car, take them to meet up with a friend, vouch for them, and then that friend is dead a minute later. That's where it gets kind of weird.
I mean, like I told you, it was off of the strength of Ashanti. I didn't know the guy. I don't know him, but like I said, me and Ashanti have been friends since we were jitterbugs, since we first started middle school.
Okay.
So of course, I mean, she's been the only person that I've known for the long time that's had my back and been like that for the longest. Yeah, she's telling me, I know she would never put me in no kind of danger or no situation as if she knows that somebody is a bad guy. And I've always trusted her like that. So of course, I mean, yeah, in my head at the time I was thinking, oh well, I mean, he can't be no bad guy. If she introducing me to him, she's letting us, and then especially if she let him in the car, like, that didn't seem like nothing suspicious to me. I mean, somebody that she dated, I mean, and she doesn't date like that, to be honest with you, at all. So it didn't seem suspicious to me.
And then you vouch for him. And about a minute later, Richard's dead.
Right, and
then you get back in the car with him. And drive, by your version, almost a mile. By other versions, considerably different.
That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not true.
You never try to call the police.
And the reason of that, I mean, I didn't call because I was having people I was running to get help, and
you were running to get away. No, you did. You did ask
I was running,
to call.
I was running to get away from the situation after the fact that, and I wasn't running to get away right off the top. Like, no, I was not. I was headed towards the JSO. I was going straight that way. I can tell you straight off without even lying, that I was definitely going. I wasn't trying to get away right off the bat.
Well, you ran in that direction. You did run in the direction of the stop station.
And then that's when the police was already there. I mean, It was in the police's hands. I thought everything would be handled. Like, this is not something I go through every day. This is not something that I have ever even been through.
Right. And again, I get that. I do. But getting back in the car with Patrick, after he killed Richard.
It's a dumbass move.
No, that's not a dumbass move.
It's calculated.
That's a calculated move. I'm okay to get back in here with this person that just killed my friend.
I wasn't.
Because I'm pretty confident he's not going to kill me.
Pressure mounted as detectives pointed to the pattern. Too many coincidences in one night. A chance meeting, an introduction, reassurance, a gunshot. Piece by piece, Cameron stood at the center of it all.
I don't know. This is not something I just know to think about it.
There's no way to make that make sense because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but I'm.
If there's nothing more to the story, then that does not make sense that you got back in that car with him and left with him.
It wasn't any. It sounds like you guys are trying to say like, oh, I knew, like, oh well, yeah, I knew he was going to kill him. Oh, he's not going to kill me. I know he's not.
I don't think you knew he was going to kill Richard. I don't think that for a second.
I didn't know he had a gun. I didn't know how. I don't know him. I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. Everything that even after when I got in the car, everything everything that I've done that was for Patrick, like as far as the weed or whatever, it was based off of Ashanti. I don't know what Ashanti does. So if Ashanti is cool with him and it's okay with whatever's going on, then if she's, I know I'm in safe hands, or at least that's what I thought. Like, that's all I can tell you guys. I fucked up. I made a mistake, but I don't have the right answers to everything.
Getting your friend killed is a lot bigger than a mistake.
Wait, well, you said getting my friend killed?
Yeah, that's your friend, right? Not ours.
I didn't get him killed.
Well, yeah, you did. When you broker a drug deal.
Whether you meant for him to get killed or not, you brought Patrick to the party. You vouched for Patrick. And again, I don't think for a second that you had in your mind what was about to happen as far as Patrick killing Richard. I don't think you did.
I'm sorry.
Something else. Y'all knew something else was going to happen, though. Just didn't think it would result in him being killed.
It just doesn't sound good when you put it like that. Like, you're saying, like, I got him killed, and now it's like...
We didn't say you killed him.
No, I'm not saying that you said that, but it's like you said, I got him killed, and it's making it seem like, oh, well, now it's like, well...
Bro, I know it sucks to hear it that way. The bottom line, that's what happened. And again, I don't think for a second that you thought you were going to pull across that street and a gun was going to come out and he was going to kill him. I don't think so. But the more we have to tap dance around getting to these actual truthful answers, it makes me wonder. Okay?
Once he got in the car, what dialogue took place about the drugs?
When he got in the car with him.
How many times did he get in the car?
When he got in the car, in the plaza, he didn't get in the car asking for trees. He asked when he was outside, like when he was still standing outside, and that's when Ashanti turned behind me and was like, "Hey Cap, do you know? I mean, Richard still says trees, right?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not sure because I mean, it's been times Richard has told me, you know, I gotta stop. I'm not on it no more because of like something that has happened before, or something like that." So I wasn't sure, but I told them, you know, well, I can always go see. I mean, I can
always go see, or I can continue burning his phone up to find out.
No, I can.
If he's still in the game,
I can always go see. Like it was when we were in the plaza.
Mm-hmm. So then you guys get in Richard's car.
Yeah.
What type of dialogue takes place between Patrick and Richard while you're in the car?
Well, I'm in the car. I wasn't. No. Wait. What do you? When I got in the car, or when we both got, or when he got in the car after me?
Yes.
He told him he didn't have the weed on him, but.
Cameron admitted he helped arrange the marijuana purchase, but denied knowing about any plan to rob. To investigators, the line between helping buy and setting the stage could define criminal responsibility.
His cousin stayed across the street in Monaco Arms, and that he could always go over there. Like he was like, if you okay with it, I could take you across the street to get it to him. And I was like, you bringing this back over here, right? He's like, he's like, yeah, I gotta take Wesley home anyways. So I guess the guy was like, yeah, that's cool as long as you're coming back over here. And I mean, Monaco Arms is only a 0.1 second right from the plaza.
Exactly.
So. Yeah, of course, I was thinking, well, we're just going right here next door. It should be fine. Mm-hmm. And, like, nothing else was said after that. Like, after he said, yeah, that's fine, or whatever. Like, it was strictly like me and Richard just started talking. And I was even talking to his girlfriend, too. Like, even when she was on I'm pretty close friend, not close friends, but I'm pretty familiar with Jatar as well. And like, Patrick was quiet in the car. He wasn't talking, but like me, I was, of course, I came there because I was trying to do the music thing. I was on the...
Patrick didn't say one word.
No, Patrick wasn't talking. Patrick didn't say nothing. He was just sitting there. He wasn't talking. I was in there doing the music, and he looked like he was trying to be engaged in whatever I was doing. Like, basically that. Mm-hmm. And like, in the middle of me, I can even tell you the beat. It's a free Tory Lanez beat called Target that I was telling him that we were about to do. And I was in the middle of doing like the intro. It's like a hook that we were doing, and like in the middle of me trying to do it, that's when the robbing and everything took place.
How do you say robbing?
Well, he pulled out his gun and was like run, like I told you, he's like, run that, give me that. And that's when everything turned like sideways.
Okay. So he tried to rob you.
Yeah.
Somebody that he knows can identify him because you just vouched for him. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you? Back to this panel that we're talking to the jurors of logic. Does that make sense to you?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't. But he's got to make it look like he's robbing you so he can do what he's got to do to everybody else in the car.
No, see, what are you guys getting at? Like,
we're trying to make sense out of something that's not making sense, is what we're trying to, that's what we were getting at.
But I don't, it seems like y'all trying to make it seem like I'm taking part in whatever is going on. And it's not like, I was trying to help him get some weed, and I was going there to do what I was going to do, but that was it. I didn't know nothing was going on, or whatever his intentions were.
Did Patrick and Richard ever exchange money?
No, we didn't even get to the destination. There was no weed exchange because before we even got there.
So what sense does it make to just shoot him for no damn reason?
I don't know. Maybe because he thought he had, it doesn't, I don't know, who knows. Maybe
because he thought he had what?
Money, the weed on him, it doesn't, anything, he could have had anything on him that he would have thought Richard, they told Richard he was a drug dealer. And most people that know, if you're a drug dealer, you have something that they
Who told him Richard is a drug dealer?
Ashanti did.
And? Ashanti and who?
I didn't. Not me.
Okay, so you never told him?
No.
You just confirmed what Ashanti told him?
Yeah, she was basically saying, well, yeah, don't Richard still sell trees, right? And I was like, yeah, I believe so, I can go see, yeah.
So you confirmed what she said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
So you facilitated the robbery knowing that he was going to get hit for his money, but you didn't think he was going to lose his life.
No, I didn't know. No. I didn't know there was going to be a robbery going on. I didn't know. What do you mean?
Cameron,
again, look at it logically.
No. I did not know that he was. Why would I know that he was? Richard, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have let that happen. Are you serious?
I don't know. You got back in the car with a guy that just killed your friend and rode several miles.
Yeah, well, it was stupid. Yeah, I understand that, but I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I did not know there was going to be any robbery, anything like that going on. No gun, nothing like that. So please don't. Let's not take it there. That is not what that was at all. Hell no. I'm sorry, you guys, but no, that was not where it was pointed. There was no robbery. I didn't know nothing about nobody being robbed or anything like that. So like you said, I told her, I vouched saying that, yeah, he's a drug dealer, but no, I didn't. I wasn't saying, oh, well, yeah, he's a drug dealer.
So why does he just shoot Richard then?
I don't know. Richard was the only one he knew that was a drug dealer. I don't read this. I can't read this man's mind.
But you got two other people in the car that can identify him.
Right. So
what sense does that make?
So why did he kill us both? Exactly. Well, I don't know. He didn't. I don't know if he knew her. He does. I don't know. I don't know. That's all I can tell. I don't know. All he knows is he doesn't know if I'm a drug dealer or not. All he knows is, well.
The interrogation drilled into the logic. Why would a man who had just killed someone let a witness walk away with him? Without an unspoken trust, that decision made little sense.
Yeah, we told him Richard was a drug dealer. Richard has access to trees. And that's all that was. And I don't know why. And if, like you said, if he knew it was two other witnesses, or even if I did have something to do with it, why wouldn't he take Jatar out too as well? Or why wouldn't he take his girlfriend out as well? If he knew that he had two people that could identify him.
Maybe he's got mercy on the female. And doesn't, and she never turned around and looked at him.
Well, if that's the case, well, he would have mercy on me, being that he knows that me and Ashanti are close. Like, why wouldn't he have the same mercy on me that he would have on her? Like, just because she's a female can identify somebody just how I can.
One of two reasons. Why do you think?
I don't know.
You're a smart guy. Why do you think? Why do you think?
You guys are going to say either I had something to do with it. Excuse me. I was going to say either I had something to do with it, or that's only the logical reason that I know you guys are, or that I feel like you guys are getting at. Like, it was pre-planned, or something that was going on, and that's not true at all.
Do you normally burn Richard's phone up the way you were doing that day on a daily basis?
Normally, yeah, no, not normally, because I wouldn't have to, because he'd call me back. Not normally, but I mean, I didn't talk to him.
You were pretty feverishly after him that day on the phone.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't like no back to back. He was also incoming calling me. So the ones that you guys were seeing wasn't just from me. It was also incoming calls.
But you agree there was also calls that we weren't
seeing.
Yeah,
there was calls that I were calling to him too, trying to see where he was. But I normally, you do normally call him 2 or 3 times, and then I'll text him saying, call me back. Or
not 22
like
times in a day.
Yeah.
No, but.
Not 22 calls throughout a day.
And you came in and that night explained, I've tried a couple of times to get in touch with him.
Right.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
Not
and then
in excess of 20.
Over 20.
Well, yeah, we were contacting. I'm sorry about that. We were contacting people. If that was a misunderstanding, we were contacting, pacing forward back each other, and my phone had died also recently, and that's when he was also. I called him back right after that, and told him what was going on, and he was like, "Well, give me another what's and I'm gonna call you right back." And that's when I was initially about to go home, probably some however many minutes or to an hour, and he called saying the thing about come to CC's, and that's when it began.
And again, all we're trying to do is connect dots and make things make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And the fact that there was the 20 some odd calls, and yes, they were back and forth. They were.
Yeah.
There's 20 some odd calls back and forth. Finally, a meeting is arranged at CC's, and then you happen across Patrick, and then you convince Richard to let Patrick get in the car, and then we drive across the street. A minute later, Richard's dead, and then you and Patrick both, at different times, run out of the complex and end up back in the same car.
Right, which I understand looks.
When you put logic to that, it shows that there's some sort of connection, some sort of, this was not happenstance.
This was
That somebody knew that there was about to be a robbery in that car. Definitely, Patrick knew that there was about to be a robbery.
all right.
And again, you just vouch for him. He knows absolutely that you can pinpoint who he is through Ashanti.
Well, can I ask you guys a question? Me and Ashanti are very close, but have you guys ever thought about maybe she's trying to protect him, being that, either she wants him out or...
By this point, the room felt heavy with tension. Cameron maintained he made a terrible mistake. Not that he was an accomplice, but to detectives, the line between mistake and criminal liability was growing dangerously thin.
Whatever's going on, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not even gonna lie, this is something that she told me, right after when all of this was happening, she had told me that, she had him, she met him before, she met him probably some weeks or something prior to before, and that they were, she was trying to help him get back on the right track or something about him living with his girlfriend. That's when I believe you guys came back to the house and I told y'all that, and I didn't have the girlfriend's number. I didn't know if she did, but I was Shanti obviously she knew I know that wasn't her first time seeing him from whenever she said a while ago. Okay. Because after that was when, when I was telling her, she wasn't talking to me, she wasn't trying to, she wasn't trying to come in contact no more with me or anything like that. It was like, okay, well, are you upset? What's going on? And she was like, she was just basically trying to tell me, yeah, it's just because, I've been helping out. I've been trying to help Patrick get back, and Patrick's been this, and that's my first love, and I've been this and that. So I'm just not trying to turn this on anybody, but I'm just saying, that doesn't make y'all even think, maybe she's trying to cover his ass, or maybe, I'm just asking. I'm not trying to throw her under the bus or anything.
Ashanti has in no way said something to try to cover his ass.
Okay. I was just going to say that I'm not...
If that takes that off the table for you, not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that's
Has she done anything? If anything,
Probably done some things to confirm.
Yeah, she's done more to confirm stuff that we already knew that was there, that she has reluctantly told us.
Yeah.
And put herself in this as much as anybody else. Okay?
All right.
Because not only you're involved because you introduced Patrick to Richard, convinced Richard to so you brought him to the party.
Yeah.
Well, she introduced him to you, and both of you were facilitating trying to get him some weed. So both of you are in the same boat as far as that goes.
All right.
So no, don't think she's trying to. If she was sitting back saying it was all Cameron, then there might be an issue. She's not doing that. Okay.
And to be honest, you guys, I really want to say the only reason why I think I probably wasn't afraid to get back into the car after seeing that Richard was up there that Patrick was in there was probably because it was somebody that she knows, that she said she knew. Even after he murdered my friend, I didn't think I was in any other danger. Now, I don't know if that helps, but that's just another reason why I just say it sounds crazy. It doesn't make sense, but it's not that I was comfortable with it, but I didn't feel like anything would happen if I would have got, if in her car, because, that's somebody she knows that she's been close with longer than just being me. So I didn't, if I were in her car and something is if anything was to happen, it wouldn't happen the way it happened with Richard, because, she knows him. So, it wasn't...
That's not helping me much, but I understand what you're saying. But go back for a minute to... We're inside the apartments, and Patrick has just shot Richard. You got the car stopped. You end up outside the car and you run around. You saw some people over at the apartments, and you talked to them and tried to get some help. When you went back to the car, and notice I didn't ask you if you went back to the car. I didn't say, did you go back to the car? I said, when you went back to the car. You're an intelligent person, right?
All right.
So that means that at least implies that I know what?
You're right.
That you went back to the car. So when you went back to the car, what did you do?
Nothing. No, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, so I don't even remember going back to
Not only that, when you went back over to the driver's door of the car, what did you do?
I think I probably went back to check on Richard. I think I probably went back to see what. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't even know if I went back to the car. And what I remember was when I was knocking on the doors and I seen Jatara and I was going to the JSO. I was telling her I need to give me my phone. I need my phone. I was going across.
After the gunshot, Cameron returned to the car, claiming he only wanted to see if Richard was still alive. But his blurred memory and repeated explanations made detectives suspect he was covering a dangerous gap.
To the JSO, I was going to head there.
Right, but first you went back over to the car.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but if I did and I was on the driver's side, it was probably because it was probably because I needed to see if Richard, the same thing before. I need to see if Richard's okay.
Do you remember if you opened the door?
I opened the door the first time.
Okay. Did you remove anything from the car?
No, I didn't have anything.
You didn't take anything away from the car?
No. And if I did go over there, like I said, I don't remember, but if I did go over there, it was to check on Richard, but no, it wasn't, I didn't get anything. I wasn't reaching for nothing. I have nothing to get. The girl had my phone. That's the only thing that I knew that belonged to me.
And then just ran out of the complex, got back in the car with Ashanti and her sister and Patrick.
Yeah.
And there's no conversation from where you got in the car until the time you got out?
Not with Patrick. I was strictly talking to Ashanti because
What did you say to Ashanti?
I was telling her I need, why is he here? This can't be, he just shot Richard, bro. He just shot Richard. He gotta get out because something's gonna happen. We're gonna get in trouble. Either he needs to get out or I'm leaving. We're gonna get in trouble riding with this guy. I know you heard the gunshots. I'm pretty sure he told you what happened. I'm pretty sure you seen him panicking or whatever. I'm pretty sure he was doing when he got in the car, or if he was out of breath, whatever was going on. I know you knew that something was happening. So to save, if not our ass, to save my ass, either he needs to get out of the car now or I need to get out. And it was she was, okay, Karen, well, you need to, okay. And I was like, I can't hear that. And like I said, I was emotional crying because there was stuff going on. I wasn't feeling well. It wasn't good at all. But that was what the conversation was.
Did Patrick ever say anything?
He was talking, but I wasn't contacting with him. I'm not that stupid.
But you're in the same car.
Yeah.
It's a small car. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying you can't hear what he was saying?
No. I knew he knew what he was doing, and like I told you, I'm in there crying. This is something I'm not. So whatever, they were saying, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't remember whatever he's saying. I can't tell you he was talking. That I will admit, he was talking. He was saying something. It wasn't directed to me, but he was talking, and it was to Ashanti. I don't remember, but they were talking, and I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I was I was like, no, I can't do this. In the middle of me crying, I can't, he has to go, or we have to go, and it's not. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, even after that, I still wanted to jump out of the car, it's not, I can't do this. And it made it seem like I just, fled a murder scene. That's where it knocked me down from the most,
It didn't make it seem like you did. You did.
Well, yeah, that's basically the part that was killing me. And not only was it, just a murder scene, it was...
Your brother.
My brother, yeah. It was somebody else like my brother to me.
Which again is what brings us back to. And sometimes things don't make sense just because they don't make sense. But nothing about this being a random run into Patrick weed gets mentioned, he gets vouched for, he gets in the car, and he gets shot less than a minute later.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to cover my ass, but there's been times, and even when I'm at my college now, there's random people that I've run into that ask, oh, you know where I can get some trees from, or, you know, if I could this. And then sometimes it's people that I know people that go to the same college that I'm at now, and they're same way. Oh, well, do you know? And
it happens pretty regularly.
Yeah, and
I'll give you
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Like that's
how many times has somebody gotten killed less than a minute later?
But that's the part. Yeah.
Connected with how many times were you blowing the dead person's phone up all day before they got killed after you brought somebody to buy some weed?
I mean, yeah, it looks bad, but that's not. I mean, you can't possibly try and connect that. I mean, just because I was blowing them up, like how it was. I mean, yeah, sometimes, I mean, it gets like that when I have either good music or when I'm trying to find out. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, just now, like, our last time when we were actually performing and Richard was supposed to come get me, he was supposed to come get me and I couldn't get out the house at the time.
Inside the small car, Cameron said he cried and told Ashanti that Patrick needed to leave. Yet he stayed there, sitting beside the man who had just fired the shot. The contradiction tangled the narrative.
He was either blowing me up and there's certain stuff that just plays into it that he'll blow me up or I'll blow him up, but it's not like a blow up that happened that day. It's not like 22 times. It'd be like probably a good 4 times and then he'll text me and then wait probably another 3 minutes and then he'll he'll call again and it's certain stuff like that. So
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
It's not like I don't want y'all to sit here and try and say that, oh well, the fact that you guys were blowing each other up before is like connecting to, oh well, you know, whatever, this is happening because you guys were blowing each other up, so it had something to do with it. Like, that's not.
No, not just that. The totality, the big picture of everything. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying instead of what you're saying. You start out with the 22 calls back and forth, however many, a bunch. I don't remember if it was 22, back and forth. You're in the car with Ashanti, headed home, and then make a time to meet at CC's, turn around and go back.
Well, the call was unexpected.
Randomly run into Patrick, who you don't know, who you've never met, and then he mentions wanting some weed, and you pull over, and you walk over to Richard's car. According to you by yourself, according to other people, you walked up together. I'm not.
I mean, he got out of the car at the time I did.
And again, I'm not hung up on that. I'm just saying it's another version that doesn't match what you've said. And you came in here and told me my pants were red, basically, earlier. So it's hard for me to. I'm trusting but verifying. I'm trying to put trust in what you're saying, but it's hard because you've lied repeatedly.
All right.
So whether you walked up together, we agree that someone who is very particular and very careful about who he lets in his car was persuaded to let somebody in his car. By who?
Me.
Okay. We drive less than a minute later. That person who you vouched for pulled a gun and shot your friend, your brother. According to you, when he pulled the gun, he said, let me run this, and you thought it was a robbery, so you tossed your wallet. Okay? And then he jumps out, you jump out, you try to get some help, you run off, and you end up in the same car with him.
It looks, yeah. From you guys' side, it does look, yeah.
And then when we, after talking to the girlfriend and making a bunch of steps and making our way out, we finally get to talk to you and you come down here, and none of that gets mentioned. And then I come back a couple of days later and specifically ask you, was he in the car? And I get lied to. And then you come in here today and I say, okay, and we explain the importance of the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole truth. Your attorney explains the importance of the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole truth. And you sit here and you tell me my pants are red. That is the reason we have so much trouble with the fact that the phone was blown up, with the fact that you stumbled across Patrick, with the fact that you vouched for Patrick, with the fact that he got in the car and then a minute later he was dead, and then you come in here and spun this great big story that makes no sense because you made it up, parts of it. That's where the problem is. And again, looking at it logically and removing yourself from the person being looked at, if you're looking at it from the outside in, you're not believing it either. There's a reason for that. Again, we want justice for Richard and Richard's family, his blood family. You're involved in this whether you want to be or not. You brought the killer to the party. You vouched for the killer. You can not want to feel that. You can not want to accept that all you want. That's the cold hard truth. And it sucks. I wouldn't want to have that on me. But it's on you. And the only way you're going to help this shit that's eating at you day after day after day, and to start to get out from under some of this, is to tell the whole truth. The good, the bad, the ugly about what happened, and make this story make some kind of sense. And the only way you're going to do that is to tell the whole truth.
Detectives reconstructed the sequence, a chance meeting, a word of reassurance, and less than a minute later, a gunshot. In restless Jacksonville, too many coincidences stacked into one night.
And the whole truth is who decided to rob Richard.
All right.
So who was it?
It was Patrick, but I'm sorry, I'm not saying I'm a little claustrophobic. He stepped just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. I didn't mention it because I didn't want to, even though he is dead, I didn't want to get Richard's family, nobody in trouble. I also mentioned to them that Richard was strapped. Richard always stays strapped with his gun.
Okay.
So when we got in the car, when he got in the car actually, and Patrick, when we were going over to us and he got in the car, I was mentioning, well, yeah, don't make sure you don't make no, dumb moves or nothing like that, because, he's Richard carries a gun. Richard's strapped, and which I've always known him for. And he was asking me, well, I'm sorry, you guys. Excuse me. He was asking me what you mean strapped, like he as if he's like a real cold dead hard killer drug dealer. I was like, well, not like that, but he's basically it's for protection, because stuff happens. We're in Jacksonville, stuff really happens, so it's for protection. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, because I don't want to get into nothing like that, and all that, trying to make it seem like well, that's all he's looking for. So I mean, no, I didn't initiate. I didn't initiate, and I didn't plan to rob Richard, because I would have never do nothing like that to Richard. Like, yeah, I set it up and it's on me, and I have to accept that. I understand that as much as he's going to kill me, I'm just going to have to get through it. But truthfully, it wasn't planned to be a robbery from me or Ashanti or her sister. Nobody else knew about that but Patrick. And he took Richard's gun.
Okay, what did he do with it?
He took Richard's. Now, I don't know, but I know he took Richard's gun. When I looked, when I was in the little position like this, and I was able to peek out, he reached up and grabbed Richard's gun and hopped out the car and ran. So I know he took Richard's gun.
What kind of gun did Richard have?
Richard's gun is black. So, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with guns, but I know it was all.
You know a difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic?
Yeah, revolver doesn't have a clip, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a cowboy gun has a cylinder, the bullets go in, and then a semi-automatic, the magazine comes in the bottom like ours.
Yeah.
What?
Can I see yours right quick? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not going to pull it out.
Yeah, don't pull it out. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was smaller than you guys's, but it was like the same shape, same.
Like a semi-automatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was like just a tad bit smaller.
Okay.
And I'm able to say because I've seen Richard's gun before. It's not the first time I've ever been with Richard. But I know that when I mentioned the gun thing about you know, Richard having a gun and, you know, him always carrying it like that because, you know, he's particular. He's gotten in trouble about weed or something like that before.
Okay.
So I know for a fact that if something goes down, Richard is going to react. So me saying that, I was basically trying to warn him, as if, you know, well, you know, he just come to let me go and let me talk to him first before you listen, because he, you know, Richard stays strapped, he not this, and that's when he was asking me, like, hold on, what you mean? Like, he, you know, he busting or something like that. He a cold dead killer or something. I was like, nah, but it's for it, like, you know, I drug dealers. I was just trying to talk to him basically as if, you know, stuff gonna be cool. It's just, you know, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna mention it to you, or I'm gonna mention you to him to see if he, you know, he gonna help you out or whatever. And I thought that was gonna be it. I didn't have no clue that he was gonna think, oh, maybe I can rob this. I didn't even know this guy had a gun on him. He had a long white shirt on with, I think it was either jean shorts or jean pants, but I can remember what Patrick had on.
Okay. Did Richard ever pull his gun?
Richard's gun was on his lap, but I don't know if he pulled it. But it happened fast. Like, it happened to the point where, like, if Richard he didn't have time to even, like, pick the gun up. He didn't have time to before Patrick had shot. Like,
Pressure tightened when Cameron admitted he had warned Patrick that Richard always carried a gun. The casual remark sounded harmless, but it raised suspicion of prior awareness.
I know, like, as soon as it happened and I was ducking down, like, as soon as I was getting to the covering myself up, like, that's when I heard the shot and it scared me, but I was able to peek and seeing that, you know, he reached up and grabbed Richard's gun and, like, ran out the car.
So you never saw Richard turn around and start waving the gun or anything?
No, Richard wasn't able to, but when I walked up to the car before I got in, the gun was on Richard's lap.
Okay. When you got back in the car with Ashanti and Patrick was in the car?
No, that I promise you guys, I don't know if he still had the gun, but I didn't see the gun. Yes, I was concerned about it, but like I said, I didn't think he would, and which was I'm not even gonna lie, which was very dumb on my end, because he could have easily just killed me and would have told her I had to, because he seen my face. Like, thinking about it now, he could have came right back and finished what he started.
But you did not see a gun.
Yeah, in Ashanti's car, I didn't see anything.
Okay. Where did Ashanti drop Patrick off? About how long was he in the car?
About time, like, when she was... I'm sorry, I'm not trying to think of nothing, but it wasn't before she... no. I'm sorry. It was before we even, like, it was closer to my house, but it was before we even got in my neighborhood.
It wasn't where you said on the computer.
It wasn't, well, it was close, but it wasn't like that close, but we did. He had her, like, basically as if he was trying to get away. Like, he had her, like, go this way, like.
So he was directing her.
Yeah, he was directing her.
Did he direct her to Broward Road? Do you remember being on Broward Road?
No, and I don't remember being on Broward. And I can tell you guys, I don't remember being on Broward Road. But I knew that, like, while he was directing her, like, that's when I started to say, hey, I can't be, like, doing this. If he need to get out right now, I need to. Because, I mean, first of all, it's dumb for her to take direction from somebody that she knows something just happened to. It was dumb for me to get in the car knowing he was in, or knowing that when I got in, he was in there. But it was very dumb of her to, like, I don't know what was going on in her head, but...
Do you remember being on Lem Turner Road with him in the car?
No, by Kendall Court, or the...
Well, further up by the bridge, going towards the OK.
Past Roses?
No,
Past Roses.
No, not at all. We didn't, I wasn't, and if that's where they were, then I'm not saying that I'm sure, but most likely after or whenever she did drop me off, she probably had him to come back, or she probably went back and got him, or however they got in touch. But I can tell you right now, we never even got as far as Broward or over there by the New Roses, because it took us literally like probably 7 to 8 minutes to take me home after what was going on. Like basically like he was trying to dodge the lights. He was trying to get out of the clear, and that's when I was like, no, I can't. I'm I'm not gonna.
So you still don't remember exactly where it got out, but just that it was different than what you showed me on here.
Yes,
Why?
Because that's the place that we were going, and that's where, like, I mean, that's what I could remember. I'm cooperating, trying to get through this, but that's what I could remember. I knew that we were.
Cameron, how many lies have we had to sit here and sort through? You know, you understand and realize that we could have been done in probably 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Had you have just come in
Not
and said,
2.5 hours.
this is what happened. Okay?
Correct.
These are your words, not mine. I'm trying to cooperate with you guys. Okay? You keep saying that repeatedly over and over and over and over again. Okay? When Detective Edwards has to sit here and continually disprove the majority of information that you're telling him, does that make it look like you're trying to come down here and do the right thing?
No, sir.
Stop wasting time. Stop making things worse for yourself. And tell the man. Obviously, you know the stuff he's asking you, he already knows the answers to. Stop trying to outsmart him. Stop trying to figure out where he's going with the questioning and just tell him the truth.
Because I'm going to sit here and let you lie. I think I've shown you that. I'm going to sit here and let you lie. I'm going to take your lie. And then I'm going to come back to it a few minutes later and we're going to talk about it again and you're going to end up stumbling over yourself and you're going to end up looking silly.
You're not doing anything to help yourself.
You're not good at this. You're not a good liar. You were raised right.
They traced the escape route. Cameron insisted he was dropped off at the end of the block, away from his home. Every street and turn was examined, as if the truth were hidden somewhere on the map.
Something bad happened and you are trying your damnedest to make it worse and worse and worse.
They dropped me off in my neighborhood first, before he even got anywhere. Before they went anywhere else, he dropped me off in my neighborhood.
Who dropped you off?
Ashanti and William Patrick was there.
That's, again, not what we're being told.
I promise you, that is now that I'm that. If that's not the truth, then nothing else is the truth. They dropped me off in my neighborhood. I didn't want them to take me home. One, because I didn't want him to know where I live, and I didn't want to go home with, like I said, with the stuff that was like going on with blood and stuff on my hands. I didn't want to go in the house with getting in trouble with my mom, and then she's seeing that and freaking out even more. But they did take me to and not only just that, if they're saying that that's not the truth, we can even go back. There's a guy at the same place that they dropped me off at that he's one of the, I don't know if he's a president of the neighborhood or somebody like that. He has a camera that's pointing directly at the point of where we were. And if you guys need to go back or if you're able to, you can always go back and check that out for yourself with him, if that would be okay. But I guarantee.
That's on Apple Blossom?
Yes, sir. I guarantee you that is exactly where they dropped me off at, was back in my neighborhood.
Okay, so you got in the car on Monaco. Ashanti, her sister, you, Patrick. Right?
Right.
Ashanti's driving. Sister's front passenger.
Patrick.
Patrick's the front passenger. You're the rear driver's passenger seat. And her sister is behind you, or next to you.
Mm.
You go down Monaco, you turn left on Dunn, and they take you home.
They took me home first.
So Patrick was still in the car when they pulled into your neighborhood.
I'm sorry guys. I'm very scared right now. I'm not trying to mess it up, and I understand that me trying to cover up some stuff is making it worse. I'm
glad you understand that.
I'm very, very scared right now.
I mean, we couldn't have explained it more clearly very many more times, that you lying about different things really
yeah.
kind of points a finger at, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Is that your house where that little cursor's over?
Yeah, I'm the first house, and we came.
Where did they drop you off at? You can expand it right here if it helps.
This is our park. This is the man's house right here. Mm-hmm. This is his house. This is where the lake is. This is the parking lot, and this is the man's house, and this is where they initially dropped me off at.
So y'all drove all the way through the neighborhood to the back of the neighborhood.
To the back of the neighborhood, right here. And if you, like I said, if you guys want to verify that with the man on the camera, then you guys can. But
Why did Patrick want to rob him? Was it solely for the money?
Was it what?
Why did Patrick want to rob Richard? Was it solely for the money, or did he want his gun? Why did he want to rob him?
That's something you have to ask Patrick.
We have.
Well, I don't know. I can't tell you that because I didn't know that the robbery was even happening. I didn't know it was going to happen, so I can't give you an answer to that.
Why would you feel it necessary or important to let Patrick know that Richard is always strapped then?
And not to try anything.
I mean, because if you look at Patrick, Patrick looks like he's a thug. Like, not even just that. Like,
you know why? I'm going to answer it for you. Because there was a discussion ahead of time about what was going to happen. I don't for a second think that y'all discussed that Patrick was going to kill him. I don't.
So you think you're discussing a robbery?
Yes. Yes. I do.
That's not accurate. That is false.
Okay. Which would go along with every statement that you've given us today. False. Correct?
That is. How would I be able to have a conversation with him if he wasn't in the car with us?
Who?
Patrick.
I don't know. That's for you to explain, not for us.
Yeah, which isn't accurate. It isn't.
Well, by your version of the events, it's not accurate. We've been told otherwise, that he wasn't in the car.
He was not in the car.
And your version has been...
Cameron denied knowing about any robbery plan. He claimed he gained nothing but loss. But to investigators, motive wasn't just about money. It was about his role linking two men on a fatal path.
Slightly less than accurate. And again, this could have taken about 30 minutes, and we are now 2.5 hours into this.
But so if it was a robbery for whatever it was, and he got the gun or whatever you think it was, what did I get out of it?
We don't know.
What did I get out of it? I don't have any money. I don't have the gun. You guys can search the house. You guys can search whatever. I don't have a gun. I've never touched the gun. No, I take that back. The only gun that I did touch was Richard's. But I got nothing out of this.
You touched Richard's gun when?
This was a while ago. When I first knew he had a gun. Just being stupid.
Okay.
Stupid kid playing with it. No, but what would I get out of it? I don't play with guns. I know about guns. I'm not supposed to have guns. My mom doesn't even want us with water guns. Yeah, I'm 19. I'm still a mama's boy, and I know how mommy is. But what did I get out of whatever it was? I didn't get nothing. I got a dead close friend, a dead brother almost.
Yeah.
So what makes you? If I'm me being intelligent and smart as I am, you have to give me something. Like, I'm not. If that was the case,
that's kind of the question. What did Richard plan, or what did Patrick plan to get from Richard?
But I don't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. I don't know. It was weed. I know that for a fact. He wasn't. If I asked my sister, my sister wouldn't have told me that if that wasn't the case. And that's what I was thinking. They said something about drugs. Yeah, I know a lot of people and everybody that he could have got drugs to that was differently. But I mean, Richard was right there. Richard was close. So I mean, back to thinking about that, why wouldn't I? I mean, why not just ask him we're here before if we go somewhere else? So I mean, it wasn't nothing that I knew about that was going to happen. I didn't know he even had a gun to rob Richard with. I knew nothing of that.
So you never saw Patrick with a gun?
No.
Until he pulled that gun out.
Until he pulled the gun out. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was suspicious of him because I mean, nobody just walks around with a bandana, a camouflage bandana on their hand and wrapped in on their wrist, wrapped in their hand. So, I mean,
was his hand wrapped like that when you saw him over by Starbucks?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what he had afterwards.
When did you notice his hand was wrapped like that?
When we were in the car.
Okay.
When we were in the car.
So you got out of the car after noticing that his hand was like that, and in your words, it was suspicious, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yes or no?
Yeah.
Walked over to Richard's car, and vouched for him.
Yeah, because I wasn't thinking too much of it. I mean, he had it tied around his wrist and was playing with it in his hand. I mean, and I don't know if it was gang related. There's no telling. He looked like a suspicious dude. But I mean, I run across people that look way.
Why in the world would you vouch for somebody like that?
Off of the name of my sister. Like, that's somebody she knows that she's close with. Like, I mean, that's somebody she knows.
But not, this is somebody my sister knows that my sister says is cool. That's not what you told Richard. What you told Richard is, this is my dog. He's cool. He ain't gonna hurt you. This is my dog. Not, this is my sister's friend that she used to date that I've never met before that had a suspicious bandana wrapped around his hand.
I didn't know that they dated until after all of this had happened.
Okay. But you introduced him as, this is my dog,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I mentioned Shanti, but yeah, I did say, yeah, he's cool people.
And then we drive across the street, and he's dead.
But out of all people, like, why would I make it seem like I was trying to come after Richard for something? Like,
we don't think you were trying to come after Richard. We don't think you for a second thought that Richard was going to get killed out of this.
Not killed. I'm saying come after him, rob him, pre-planned, whatever it is. Like, what would be my motive for that? Like, Richard doesn't really have nothing that I need from him. Richard was a role model, like I told you guys. Richard has blessed me more than I thought of before. Like, what would be my motive of robbing Richard, especially if I haven't gotten nothing out of sending somebody else to?
What is your motive for trying so hard?
Pressed by his own logic, Cameron struggled to explain why he vouched for someone who seemed suspicious. That blind trust became the fracture point in his statement.
To facilitate Patrick being able to buy some weed from him. What were you getting out of that?
I mean, nothing, but I don't know. I guess I was doing somebody a favor.
Because did you not? Well, you're doing somebody a favor. Who? Patrick? You doing Patrick a favor?
Trying to get him
some weed?
Yeah.
So you went over and vouched for him, even though by your words he had some bandana wrapped around his hand that was kind of suspicious, so you felt it was necessary to tell him don't try anything because my boy's always strapped and all of that. And then you walk over and you betray your brother.
Please don't say it like that.
Did you lie to him?
Lie to Richard?
Yeah. This is my boy. He's good people. He ain't gonna hurt you.
That's what I thought.
So what did you stand to gain by doing all of that so that Patrick could get a little bit of weed?
Nothing. Which is nothing.
Okay? So the reason this all keeps coming back to who came up with the plan to rob Richard is because somebody tried to rob Richard. And you did a lot to get those two together. Even if you accept that you randomly ran across Patrick over by Starbucks and brought him over, you still walked over to your friend, your brother, and vouched for him after feeling like he had something suspicious wrapped around his hand. So, and then within a minute, that dude's trying to rob your friend. And then you leave after your friend is shot in the head and killed and get back in the car with him. And then you go home and don't make any attempts to notify the police. When the police finally find you, you come down here and you lie.
Because the police were already there.
And when we come back to you 2 days later, you lie. And then you come down here and you lie for going on 3 hours. Put yourself back in that jury box. The only way that makes sense is there's more to the story.
Well, what I can tell you guys is I didn't have nothing to do with the robbery. I didn't want to rob Richard. And I had nothing to do with the robbery.
So the robbery was never discussed around you?
No. Nobody even knew that about robbery. I've never robbed nobody ever.
And it was.
I don't know nothing about robbery. I don't know how to.
Yes or no?
No.
The robbery was never discussed around
No.
you. You had no earthly idea
No.
that Patrick was going to get in that car and try to rob Richard.
No, I did not. At all.
And that's what you're going to sell.
That's exactly what I'm. Yes, I did not. I did not know there was going to be a robbery, and especially if I did, if I did, I wouldn't have let it be Richard. And I definitely wouldn't have let that happen. Richard didn't deserve it, and I know that. But that's not something that I'm just going to sit here and just think about. Oh well, who am I going to rob? Who would I need to rob? What's going to happen if I rob so and so? Like, we're talking about Richard, somebody who was taking me to studios, helping me chase my dream, basically.
Yeah.
Somebody that was helping me chase my dream. Yeah, I made bad choices, I made bad decisions, but no, I've never known nothing about robbing. I didn't know how to plan it or nothing like that. I'm not part of the robbery at all, and that's what it is. That's that.
Nothing else.
No, it wasn't a robbery that I knew of.
And you weren't going to get you weren't going to get a little piece of whatever he was buying. You stood,
No, because
you stood to gain nothing from setting up the weed deal.
Nothing.
Just you were trying to,
trying
to do.
Yeah, because like
Patrick.
I've done that before. I've done that before plenty of times. You know, if people need weed and they come to me, is most of my friends I made bad choices. I have bad friends. And, you know, it's just some stuff that I sometimes used to help them out with, is just how that was. Yeah, you know, it was bad, but it's just how I used to live.
You think of anything else for today?
Nah, I think
Just
pretty much exhausted.
Just so I'm clear.
I would just recap, just so we're going to get the final version and we'll go from there.
Just so I'm clear, and stop me anywhere that I go wrong.
The interrogation stretched for hours. Each recap shifted the story slightly. Detectives emphasized one question. If he were a juror, would he believe his own version of events?
Ashanti picked you up around noon. You were going to go to your grandmother's house because you wanted to help her cut some grass to make some quick money. Found out grandma wasn't home, so you'd make a U-turn and head back to Dunn Avenue. Right?
Not.
Or the Dunn Avenue area.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
So you hang out around the Dunn Avenue area. You start trying to get in touch with Richard because you wanted to talk to him about some music. There's some back and forths. A lot more than one or two calls back and forth, right? I don't have the number off the top of my head, but a lot more than one or two calls back and forth. Eventually you decide that you're ready to go home.
Yeah.
So Ashanti and her sister are driving you home down Dunn Avenue. You get down around the 7-Eleven and everything, close to Dunn and 295, and Richard calls. Says, I'm going to be at CC's.
Right.
So you have Ashanti turn around and go back.
Go to.
I'm sorry?
Go to. You said back.
I keep saying back. Back that way.
Yeah.
You go to CC's. You pull in the first part of the Highland Square Shopping Center, which is where Starbucks and Little Caesars, and there's a Publix back there,
yeah.
T-Mobile and everything, and you happen to see Patrick. Sure. Ashanti drives over to Patrick or stops at Patrick. They have a brief conversation, which getting some marijuana is mentioned. And Ashanti asks you if Richard still sells weed. And you said, he probably does. Let me check. Going to see him anyway, whatever the conversation was. Richard gets in the car. I'm sorry, Patrick gets in the car. Did he get in the front seat or the back seat?
He was in the front seat.
So you and Ashanti's sister were in the back?
Yeah, her sister, I don't know what it is, but she's always been she has this thing where she usually wears you know how females have these little bundles or something in her head. I can't really explain it to you because it's weird, but she has some bad thing over her head, and Ashanti's front windows aren't tinted. So she was thinking, well, they can see that in my head, and she didn't have what's her name, or so forth and so on, so she just sat in the back, and I was like, okay, well.
So, Ashanti's up front, her sister's in the back seat, and you're in the back seat?
Yeah. Well, no. I'm sorry. Now that sounds no. We went over to Ashanti's house as well. I left that out. I'm sorry, you guys. I definitely left that out. We went over to Ashanti's house. Her sister didn't have all that going on until afterwards. She was in the middle of doing, her hair and stuff, and that's when I told her we were going, just take me home type, let me go home.
Where does Ashanti live? I don't remember her address.
She lives Pumpdale, like right in that little plaza where the little Dusk of Dawn club used to be.
Yeah, I don't have the address off the top. Wait, yes, I do. So,
Maribel?
yes.
8241 Maribel.
Yes. So, now we see that's why I said back me up if I go wrong somewhere.
I totally left that out.
Okay, so she picked you up around noon. Ashanti, her sister, and you are in the car. You try to go to Grandma's house. That falls through, so you go right around the Dunn Avenue area. At some point, you start calling Richard. You go back and forth on the phone with Richard. At what point did you go to Ashanti's house?
That was one of the times when we were like, when my phone was going dead, and that's when I was charging my phone and telling him, hey, what's the name, so where is you going?
Do you know roughly what time?
No, can't remember. No.
2, 3, 4, somewhere around there?
I know it was early because like an hour within or two, that's when he had to call me back, but I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah,
So
that's
what's her house look like?
It's on the side.
That's it.
That's Ashanti's house.
So you leave Ashanti's house, and because she has put the bag or whatever in her hair, Ashanti's driving. Her sister is in the back seat.
Yeah, I thought her sister was going to get back in, because her sister was in the front seat when they came and got me. She didn't have the stuff on her head. Like, we were at her house for a little bit.
Okay.
And, that's when she was she was doing her whatever else, and we were leaving, but she wasn't ready yet. So that's why she was looking for a bundle or something, and it was a bag over her head. You can ask her sister that, she'll tell you that as well. It was a bag over her head, and I came out of the listening before she did, thinking she was going to get in the front. And that's when she got in the back, and I was asking her, why didn't you get in the front? Blah, blah, blah. And that's when she hadn't told me. It's like, okay, well, but we were already driving in, so I didn't budge to get in the front, if that's what you guys are trying to, asking.
So you leave Ashanti's with you, her sister in the backseat, and Ashanti driving because she had the thing on her head.
No, you said that all wrong. Ashanti was driving, her sister had the thing on her
Well, her sister had the thing on her head. She sat in the back, but that's why the two of you were her in the back.
Yeah.
Because of the thing in the back on her head. Okay, so from Ashanti's house, you're heading home.
We're heading home.
To your house on Apple Blossom Trail.
All right.
Okay. So you get around the Dunn and 295 area.
Cameron insisted there had been no robbery plan beforehand. He described everything as sudden and chaotic. Yet the 9 hours leading up to it remained filled with troubling gaps.
And Richard calls and says, I'm at CC's. So
if you got time to,
you get Ashanti to turn around and you head towards CC's.
Right.
Pulling into CC's, or pulling into the Highland Square, you pull into the first entrance down by Starbucks.
Right.
She happens to see Patrick. She drives over, has a little discussion with Patrick. Patrick gets in the car.
Right.
You reach out to Richard, or you tell them that Richard used to sell weed, and I'll check with him, however that takes place. Drive over to CC's. You get out. Patrick starts to get out. You walk over, and you explain to Richard, talk to Richard about the music for a minute, and then you tell him, my boy wants to get some weed. You don't know any of the details about how much he was supposed to get, but after whatever time, Patrick comes over and gets in the car. At what point did you caution Patrick about don't try anything because my boy's always
that was when we were when he had first got in, and he was asking me he was asking me what his name was, like trying to act like he was familiar or something.
So when you're driving from where he first gets in the car to CC's is when you said he's always strapped, don't try anything silly.
In front, yeah.
All that. Okay, so both of you are in the car. Richard's driving, his girlfriend's in the front. You get behind Richard.
Yeah, yes sir.
Patrick gets behind the girlfriend in the back seat. Pull across the street into the Monaco apartments, or the Highlander apartments on Monaco. And without warning, nobody knows anything, and Patrick pulls a gun and says, either let me run this or let me get this, something to that effect.
Sling, yeah.
And you threw your wallet and kind of bundled up.
Yeah.
And then you heard the gunshot. After the gunshot, you saw Patrick
grab the gun,
lean up and get Richard's gun.
Yeah.
And then Patrick takes off running. You did everything you did at the scene as far as talking to the neighbor, checking on Richard, and then you ran off.
Yeah.
You get back in the car, out on Monaco, basically behind the side of Highland Square. Ashanti's driving. Patrick gets is where?
Passenger.
The front passenger?
Yeah.
You get in behind the driver, and her sister's over here.
behind Patrick.
Are you 100% on that?
Positive.
Okay. Drive down Monaco, turn left on Dunn, and they take you home.
Right. After the little traffic.
So it was back, took the back streets to get back to your house versus straight up Dunn Avenue.
Yes, sir.
They drive all the way through the neighborhood, drop you off at the back, and there was no conversation, why did you do that, what just happened, none of that.
No, I didn't want conversation with him. No, at all.
What about you telling Ashanti he's got to get out or I got to get out? Did that really happen or no?
Of course that happened, yeah. That happened, but I mean, after that was during the fact of, when we were going through the plazas and all that. But the only reason why I probably didn't get out was because, and after you guys clarified, it was because I didn't have another way home and I didn't want to call my mom because of the trouble that I was going to be in. So I told her to take me home.
So you did tell Ashanti repeatedly either he needs to get out or I'm going to get out.
You got to make him leave. And I said that because she was taking...
Didn't really mean it, apparently. I mean, you didn't stick to it. Yeah. I didn't mean it kind of harsh. You didn't stick to it because you felt like that was your only way to get home.
Yeah, and she I was saying it based off her taking directions from
So they drive to your neighborhood, go to the back, and you get out where you said, and you eventually make your way home.
Right, and that was the end of it until you guys came.
And you know absolutely nothing about any kind of planned robbery.
No planned robbery. I didn't get nothing out of it. I didn't, sir. If I would have known that was going to happen, I would have saved Richard's life. I would have told him not to. That's not. I've saved people's lives more than once actually.
Okay, it was a simple question.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
You knew absolutely nothing about this being a planned robbery.
No.
No word of it leading up to that.
No.
And nothing was said in the car from where you got picked up until where you got dropped off?
No.
About why it happened or anything else? Why you had to shoot him? Nothing like that?
Not at all.
You never saw Richard raise a gun?
Nope.
But you know that you saw Patrick take his?
Yeah.
Didn't ever see a gun in the car? Either before or after the shooting in Ashanti's car?
No.
And you and Ashanti have or had not had conversation about any specifics since this happened?
Since no, I was basically trying to ask her what's going on, trying to get her to talk to me because I told you, no, I'm sorry, no.
And that's everything, the truth, the best that you can remember it, even though we had to go around our elbow 3 times to get here.
Yes, sir. I apologize as well. Yes, sir.
And you sure?
Positive.
You're going to stake everything on that.
Positive.
Because again, if there's a time to make things right, it's right now. Actually, it was at about 2:00. But we're still trying to make absolutely sure that we're not going to come up into something later and have to have another discussion where things are remembered differently and all that. This is absolutely everything today.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Positive.
Okay.
I just had 2 quick things, and I might have missed it during your recap, but just to confirm, when you and Patrick got in the car with Richard's gun was on Richard's lap, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to clarify that. And then during the 9+ hours, or actually it's probably a little bit more than that. When did you get? Yeah, it was about 9+ hours. You and Ashanti were together.
Yeah.
All right. That's a long time, right? You guys, the furthest you went away from the Dunn Avenue area was to Ashanti's.
It's her house.
That was it.
It's her house.
Okay, nowhere else.
Yeah.
And you guys would have gotten there how? By Lim Turner?
To Ashanti's house?
Yeah. Or did you go on 95 to Edgewood?
She usually takes Lim
Turner.
She takes the back
Okay.
way.
So it's not like you guys went to the St. John's Town Center and went shopping?
No.
Not like you went to the Avenues Mall and went shopping?
No.
Not like you went to Regency?
No.
Not like you went to the beaches? Went to Fernandina? Nowhere like that?
No.
Strictly that north side
Yeah.
area between the Dunn Avenue corridor and where Ashanti's residence is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And never saw Patrick from the time she picked you up at noon until the time you stumbled across him at Starbucks going to meet Richard?
No.
Never, ever, ever saw him before that?
Never saw Rich. Not Richard. Never saw Patrick.
At any time during that day, no meeting up with Patrick?
No, not that whole day.
And what about the day before? Not that day.
Not the day before. Like I've heard of his name, but I didn't know him. I didn't know him.
So you've never seen Patrick a day before in person, actual in person, other than hearing a name?
No.
Than that evening?
No. Once again, I apologize. I was supposed to call one of you guys or my attorney or somebody to let you guys know this, but I just saw something that I remember when I was looking back, trying to see when was the last time me and Ashanti talked, something that me and my mom was going on. She sent me a picture. Not a picture, she sent me a video. She had just got a new dog some weeks ago. And it was Patrick that I realized that was in the video of what she sent me. And I never asked her who it was, but it was Patrick in that video. So I've seen it, but I didn't remember. Now that's
this
what
is before or after?
This was before.
Okay.
This was before this situation happened. But I did, yes. When I was going back looking, I had realized,
But again, that's by video. I'm talking about
not in person. Yeah,
a personal encounter.
Yeah, no sir.
With him.
No sir.
Okay. All right.
I hope that's everything. I really do. As hard as we work to get to it, I hope that you don't look back on today and think, damn, I wish I had done things different.
Yeah. If I do, I'll call you. I still have you guys just cards. I'll call.
Okay. Alrighty.
As the questioning ended, Cameron declared this was the complete truth. Still, in that cold room, it felt as though something remained unspoken, a shadow not yet brought into the light.